All right, everybody. Hello. All right. Can you guys hear me okay? See me okay? We're existing okay? All of those fun things? Okay. I'm just going to try to figure out how to see the chat a bit more clearly. But yeah, hopefully you guys can hear me. Oh man, I'm a little like, so I guess, hold on. We have to do a better intro than this, okay? We have to do a better intro for the YouTube viewers. Hi Cal, we missed you. Aw, you guys are so cute. Okay, let me make sure I have my phone. I think I need to read the chat on my phone. I have a feeling that maybe that's how I did it last time. Because my PC is just not, like, this is not working. I cannot do it this way. Okay, yeah, so I'm assuming that this is what I did. Okay. So, let's do an intro for the YouTube viewers, and this is where after I cut up the VOD, the video will actually, start and everything, alright? Okay, guys, this is my reaction, review, and live discussion, if you're not seeing this live, for the Vengeance Saga. And I'm, like, kind of scared. I don't know, like, I'm, like, afraid. Like, is that, like, the right word? I don't know. It's just, I have had, like, weird energy ever since Halloween. I don't know what it was. Like, I don't know if it was Halloween in particular, if that makes sense. But, like, I remember on Halloween waking up at, like, 5 in the morning and just being like so like jittery or something, and I have a feeling, I feel like somehow it's related to this. I feel like somehow it's related to this saga. I think that like somehow it just crawled into my subconscious, and now I have this, like, again, it's not anxiety in like a bad way. It's like, yeah, you guys are saying in the chat, it's a little bit dangerous, right? You're making a video on this? Well, this is the video. It will be a video after we're done live streaming, you know what I mean? So, I wanted to make sure that we properly introduce what we're doing here today. And so I will react to all of the songs first without a lot of like pauses or interruptions, unless something like really, you know, blows my mind. And then after that, we will go through each song kind of piece by piece and do like a little lyrical analysis, musical analysis, like find any secrets that we can today. And so that is the plan. This saga is something very anime. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, I should also talk about, so some people were asking about like my hang up on watching the animatics, and I wouldn't really describe it as like a hang up. It's more like, because I haven't reacted to all of them, like because I got into the fandom late, I just don't like, this is like so like, like this is my like autistic brain, right? I don't like having an incomplete set of things, if that makes sense, and so I don't want to just react to the Vengeance Saga animatics or the Wisdom Saga animatics and not the rest of them. So I was thinking about what to do, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll react to them with like Hunter, or maybe when my boyfriend comes to visit in December, I can like rope him into like listening to all of the sagas for the first time, because we only have one more left. So I thought about doing it that way, and I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know when the last saga is supposed to release. I have a feeling with how they're going, it'll be by the end of the year. Like, I have a feeling that by December, the last, like, Ithaca saga will come out, so maybe. But I think what I'm gonna do at the very least, you know, regardless of, like, bringing in other people to do a sort of, like, my reaction and then, you know, a normie reaction who hasn't heard the songs before, because I think that's always fun. What I think I want to do is when the Ithaca saga comes out, I want to watch all of them and kind of go on, like, the emotional, like, closure journey. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, and I agree, too. Like, I think that it would be, like, offline, I think you're absolutely right. Like, I don't want to say distracting, that's not the right word, but, like, we need to focus on the music here today, and I don't want to get, like, distracted for the visuals. And then also, that's kind of part of how I measure, like, a good musical theater song, right? It's like, can you understand what is going on without seeing anything? So yes, this is my first time listening to the songs. I haven't heard any of them before. Actually, hold on. Let me look at what... Okay, so we have 5, which is kind of surprising. So I have I have only heard, like, little bits of each of them, just because obviously, like, Jay posts, snippets and stuff, so I have heard, like, a line of Not Sorry for Loving You, like, just the vibes. I've heard, like, dangerous, my friend, da-da-da-da-da, pay for this, or something, like, you know, I've heard, what is it? Cross the line and dangerous. I don't know, I can't do it, because it's, you know, it's Hermes. I have not heard the middle one, which is a Greek mythology, monster. It's like, you're in between the Scylla and then the other one, like it's a rock in a hard place or something, right? It's kind of like that, but you're in between Scylla and then that other monster, so I have no idea about that. The only one, Forget in the Water, the only line I've heard is, I will raise the tide so high, all of Ithaca will die, get in the water. Yeah, so see, you know, all of the songs with the men singing, it's hard for me to remember, the notes. Anyway, yeah, so 600 Strike, I feel like, is a total mystery. And that's, I think, what's kind of making me, like, lose my mind a little bit, is, like, I don't think a single snippet of that song has reached the internet. I'm pretty sure that it's been, like, a complete secret. So I find that so interesting and just, like, again, a little dangerous, a little scary. Like, the fact that it's, like, literally, like, we don't know. Oh, I mean, you guys know, because you guys have heard it before. But yeah, Charybdis, that's what I was like, I was struggling. I don't know, yeah, exactly, I still don't know. So yeah, 600 Strikes, that's the one that I'm most excited and a little scared. Oh, the other thing is, what also, again, it's not anxiety. When I say anxiety, guys, I don't mean like in a bad way, but what made me kind of like buzzed, like, you know, when you have too much coffee and you're like, right, you're like literally buzzing, was that one of my friends, that Kaito Dan, I don't know if that Kaito Dan is here right now, but he ranked all of the songs, right? He's like in the process of making charts for all of them, and he ranked, I think, everything, I don't know, he ranked 4 of the songs at like S tier, and then one of the songs was like, I don't know, in A or B or something, but like the fact that like almost all of the songs got into S tier, obviously like there's such things as recency bias, but like even the last time, you know, Dan had a very measured sort of distribution, and so I'm like, oh my god, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, like, if Dan is putting 4 out of 5 of these songs in S tier, like, this must be fucking crazy, right? So yeah, that is our little introduction. You know, at the beginning of every stream, I try to just, like, you know, chill, say hi, like, explain myself, explain what we're all doing here, you know, and so, but yeah, maybe you guys did see a part of 600 Strikes, but I did not. Which is what is important. But yeah, I think that, like, this may be just the highest quality that we've gotten, and so I'm really, really excited. So now I think it is time to start the reaction. Now, if anyone is taking timestamp notes, just remember, because I cut the beginning of the stream, it is going to, like, mess up the time codes, and so you may want to wait if you're time coding the entire stream until after I finish the stream and cut out the intro and like cut out if I go to the bathroom or whatever. And so just keep that in mind, is that now, right here, whenever this is happening, we are officially starting Not Sorry for Loving You, and you guys will let me know how the audio is. Okay, so this is obviously Calypso and Odysseus.
Someone arrived today. They said they're taking you away.
Okay.
That you're not mine to save. And soon I won't get to see your face. So I came by to say you're unlike anyone I have ever known.
Okay, I mean, that's nice, right? Okay. Oh.
And if I pushed you, or if I came on too strong, or if I ambushed you, for that I'll say I was wrong. And if you hate me, then I am sorry, my love's too much for you. But I'm not sorry for loving you.
Yeah, this is the part I remember. This is interesting because I think they are like, we're redeeming Calypso a You know, there's been a lot of Calypso discourse.
Was cast away when I was young, alone for 100 years.
But like, I get it.
I had no friends but the sky and sun. So
it would make anyone go crazy, you know?
I thought for sure that you were
I like that, the shore for sure.
I thought I knew. So if I pushed you, or if I came on too strong, or if I ambushed you,
I have questions, but we'll leave it.
Wrong. And if you hate me, then I am sorry, my love's too much for you. But I'm not sorry for loving you.
Thank you, chat, for correcting my audio.
I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry, I'm angry and tired and restless and sad. I'm stuck in the moments I swore that we had. I wish you would chase me or try to embrace me for once. I wish you would lie and say
I love you.
Okay. You do?
But not in the way that you want me to.
That's interesting. That's
I
interesting.
hate that I fell in love with you.
Oh no! Oh shit!
Why
Let me know if this is better, guys.
Why did I fall in love with you? What do I do with this love for you?
Oh no.
How am I supposed to get over you? How am I supposed to get over you? Why in the world won't you love me too?
Oh boy. Is that just gonna be how it ends? Oh, I love that slide though. That sounds familiar. That sounds like an interval that was used in another song. Okay, you guys are saying the audio's better? Okay, this is the only song I'm gonna do this for, but just because you guys said that the audio was a little bit loud, I'm just gonna listen to it just one more time, just so I make sure to get what I needed to get, and then we'll get going. Does that make sense? Oh boy, because I got distracted. I also love, oh my god. Oh my god. Did you guys see that? I hit myself with my pointy thingy. It like slid out of my hand. Ah, okay. Anyway, let's go back a little. That sound was used in Circe Saga Puppeteer. I think you're right, yeah. Okay, I love how she's like someone, you know, not Hermes, like who cares? You know, she's like, eh. But yeah, I mean, there has been a lot of Calypso discourse, but I think that this makes a lot of sense to me. Like, human beings will go crazy if they are in isolation, right? So if you magnify that to an extreme of 100 years, you know, it's gonna happen, right?
Then I am sorry, my love's too much for you. But I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry for loving you.
Calypso.
Let me speak.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear that before.
Was cast away when I was young.
Yeah, like,
for 100 years.
I understand that she would go a little nuts, right? I love that line. Yeah, it's kind of like Rapunzel, like you think that you're gonna get rescued, you know? I think they did a really good job at like making Calypso understandable, if that makes sense. Not redeemable, but like, you understand.
I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry for loving you. I'm not sorry, I'm angry and tired and restless and sad. I'm stuck in the moments I swore that we had. I wish you would chase me or try to embrace me for once. I wish you would lie and say
I love you.
You do?
But not in the way that you want me to.
I really like this.
I hate that I fell in love with you. Hate that I fell in love with you. Why did What do I do with this love for you?
I really like the violin here, or the strings.
How am I supposed to get over you? How am I supposed to get over you? Why in the world won't you love me too?
Okay, what I don't understand though, here's what I don't understand. Who is doing the background vocals? Who are you people, right? So yeah, I'm sort of wondering, I'm like, that's the only thing that I have questions about. I guess I don't know what it is. Because last time, every other time that there's been background vocals, it's been like, okay, we have the Lotus Eaters, and then we have like, you know, the little flying things like in the Sky Gods area. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what's going on? Who are those people? Who are the people in the background? She's a goddess, she can make her own vocals. That's really funny. But like, what are they? But like, what are they? Like, do you guys understand what I mean? Are they like the muses? Is it kind of like a Greek okay, yes. You guys are saying it's like a Greek chorus. Okay, that makes sense to me. I wanted to know whether they were like a coconut. You guys know that thing where the guy gets like washed up on a shore and then he like makes a friend out of the coconut because he's been alone or whatever. Like for that long, like I thought that like in every other time I thought that like Athena, for example, in My Goodbye, I thought that was like Odysseus's men, but like in their subconscious, like, you know what I mean? So this makes a lot more sense to me. I was just wondering if like Calypso had a bunch of like coconuts or something, like coconuts with little faces on them, and then they were all singing, you know what I mean? Yeah, Wilson is the coconut, right? Like, I thought that they were all like sort of, yeah, what is that movie? Oh my god. It's not Lost. That's a TV show. Like, what, yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. It's like, I don't want to say Final Destination. That doesn't sound right either. Whatever. The movie where the guy gets washed up on the island. Yeah, so that was my question, because every other time I've sort of just kind of, like, not noticed it. You know, like, when Zeus has background vocals, I just kind of assumed. She did say the sun and sky. Oh, Castaway. Thank you, guys. Yeah, she did say the sky and the sun are her friends. Okay. So that makes sense. But yeah, this ends a little bit interestingly. I don't know what to make of that little ending there. Like, is Odysseus, like, is the thing from Puppeteer in here because Odysseus is just, like, trying to give her some, like, solace or something? Like, or is it because it's, like, kindness? Like, he's trying to be kind. You know what I mean? Like, is it Puppeteer, like, he is puppeteering her and he's lying, or is he telling the truth? I'm kind of inclined to think that Odysseus is telling the truth when he says that he loves her, just, like, as a friend, you know? But I think what this song does well in terms of Calypso is not only, like, again, making her behavior a bit more understandable, but also, like, that to her Odysseus represented hope, and I feel like that's really important. And so it wasn't really about Odysseus as a person, it's just like the concept of Odysseus being here represented sort of a fairy tale ending to her. And so you kind of understand, like, that she saw him as, I don't want to say an object, but, like, almost as a reward. It's kind of like how, you know, in Cinderella and, like, those old fairy tales, like, no one really gives a fuck about the prince. I'm not talking about the Disney version, because Prince Charming has a great, you know, personality and whatever. In the Disney version, he's really funny. But, like, in terms of fairy tales as they were originally written, like, the prince doesn't really matter. The prince is Cinderella's reward for being a good person, right? And so I kind of understand, like, in terms of Calypso being an island Rapunzel, if that makes sense, like, that she thought, oh, well, this is the fairy tale ending, right? This is, like, the fairy tale happily ever after, like, finally, I'm getting, you know, what I deserve for being patient and kind and stuff. And so, like, she didn't really recognize Odysseus as, like, a person who had a life before her, but rather he just was sort of this concept of representing hope. So I feel like that's really interesting. Obviously, guys, we will, like, go back, like, you know, we'll go back and listen to things a bit more thoroughly, but I don't know. This song's okay. I don't think that I would listen to it regularly. I wonder if this is the one that Dan put in the B or A tier. Like, I probably wouldn't listen to it a lot, you know? But I think that it's good for establishing, in terms of a musical context, like, what's going on with Calypso. I think that, like, it's kind of funny, though, because she's such a minor, like, blip on the, on, like, the journey here, so it's kind of weird. I kind of wish that this was in... No, but it couldn't have been. I'm like, I wish that this was somehow in the Wisdom Saga, but it wouldn't make any sense. You know what I mean? Because it feels like a weird footnote to be like, okay, we finally understand Calypso and now she's gone, right? So I don't know. But I guess it doesn't matter because the sagas are really like a formality. In a Broadway show, it's just like the entire thing anyway. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't feel self-contained. Like, it feels Calypso should have been in the last, but it doesn't matter because in a Broadway show, it's all, anyway, so it doesn't matter. I was just thinking that compared to the other sagas where it's like, oh, you know, we meet the Cyclops, we leave the Cyclops, we're done. Like, there's a sort of cutoff point. With this, it was not the cutoff. Hi, Arnold, this album was epic, am I right? I mean, well, we just started, so we don't know. We'll have to find out, but I hope that you, I hope that your stream was good. I know that you were streaming earlier. Okay, I'm excited for Dangerous, because I'm gonna be honest, so I was a bit of, like, not a hater. Hater is a very strong word, but, like, I didn't like Hermes. At first, I was like, I don't like this song, and then I, like, got obsessed with Wouldn't You Like It? Like, it needed time to, like, fester and, like, marinate or something, so, like, it's just kind of funny, because I was like, this song is, like, whatever, and then, like, you know, around my house, I'm just like, wouldn't you like to da-da-da-da, like, you know what I mean, just breaking out into song randomly, so I'm excited now for Hermes, because I've been reformed. I'm no longer, again, I don't say hater, because I wasn't a hater. I was just like, I don't know if I like this song, but then, like, it just needed time, like a fine wine. It just needed to age. I don't know, so now I'm excited.
600 men.
Bitch! What the fuck? Hello? Okay. You know why? It's because I've opened YouTube on my phone, but I need to, because how am I supposed to read the chat? Actually, I've been reading the chat on the computer. So I will just change it. Hello? Let me in. Let me in. Oh, great. Now I can't remember which window I was using. Hello? Why is it so small? That's not right. Maybe it was this one? Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry. It is this one. Yeah, Hermes is fighting back! Oh no, you guys! I'm sorry. Oh no, okay. No! But, yeah, I will, again, I do not hate Hermes for the record. Just for the record, I never said that. I said that I wasn't sure about him. You know, I was kind of like, I was not sure, alright? But now I'm sure, okay? So don't come for me, leave me alone.
600 deaths under my command.
This feels oddly, like, minor somehow.
No fleet, no band, only this raft that I made by hand.
Oh!
How will I reach my homeland? All you have to do is not open this bag.
Okay.
Hermes?
I love Hermes. He's so
Hello,
cute.
old friend. So you're the one who talked to Calypso. Why are you here? You're being given a final option. Consider this your one last chance to make it back home and abandon caution. Wash it away like the blood your hands have known. I know if you dance with fate, then I know.
Okay, yeah, this is a bomb. I like this.
Plan so great, then why'd you
This is the part I've heard.
Well, it's a little bit dangerous, my friend. You need a mindset change for this. You can
Also, you guys make a great point that the crew is dead and so Odysseus is singing what would have been their part before, which is unfortunate. But I've heard this before.
You gotta treat it like it is the main event. You wanna get home, put it all on the line, be dangerous.
All right, I'm in. What do I do?
First up, uncharted waters. When lost, look towards the sky. Follow the North Star.
I don't know. Hold on.
You think you're going, you keep on rolling. When strangers look around the aisle, when danger greets you with a smile, fight your way through, do what you must do. But no matter what, keep moving. It's gonna be dangerous, my friend. You need a mindset change for this. You cannot get away with playing safe for this. You wanna get home, put it all on the line and put your whole bread in it. Remember every trick in your domain for this. You gotta treat it like it's the main event. You wanna get home, put it all on the line.
Okay, so I'm not surprised by anything yet because I've heard some of this.
We went through so much to get this.
What?
Keep this bag closed if you
What do you mean, we?
You won't get another time to try.
Oh!
Raging storm inside won't let you get closer.
It was meant to stop you by design.
Cause no mortal can pass Poseidon's storm. Open this
Oh no! Keep your friends closer! No! Oh no!
Make it home.
Okay.
Don't you know that danger is my friend? My whole life I've trained for this. I cannot tell you how much I have paid for this. I have to get home, put it all.
Oh, this is good. This is good, guys.
Use ruthlessness, every trick, every skill put to use for this. I plan to put an end to all the foolishness. I have to get home, put it all on the line, or be dangerous. Hermes. Thank you.
Don't thank
Wait.
me, friend. I'm not the one who fought for you.
I just heard the Athena theme, I thought. Okay. I know I said I wouldn't be pausing, but, maybe we should talk about it later. My first instinct is like that the song is fun. I really like the part where Odysseus comes in, but I don't know if it's just my earbuds, because I don't know if you guys can see I'm using very kind of questionable, shitty earbuds when I stream, which is not ideal, but like it felt a little muted, like instrumentally. So I don't know how I feel about that, because like it feels like a hype song, but it feels so strangely calm. I don't know. I feel like I heard the Athena motif in the back. Suspicious. So yeah, we'll have to try to listen to this song again. Maybe I'll get my other headphones after the reason why I don't wear these is because of my hair. So my hair is too fluffy to wear them when I'm streaming. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I didn't like hear the full scope of the instrumentation in there, but maybe I did. I don't know. That's a problem that I had with the God games for Ares' part, where I was like, it feels like that there should be more instruments in here, but I don't know. Maybe there are, and I just, again, because of how my earbuds are, sometimes the balance comes through differently. But I did like how Odysseus, he didn't have an electric guitar this time. He had like, it sounded kind of more acoustic, so that's interesting. Like, I feel like that, it's definitely giving that vibe of, like, he's literally on the island all alone, like, with a wooden guitar. Like, he made the raft and the wooden guitar. Yeah, maybe it's the 80s synth thing. Like, maybe that's why. But yeah, I do like, oh yeah, you guys are talking about dangerous, my friend, to danger is my friend, yeah. Like, you can be her, oh my god, you can be her, or you can beat her, or you can beat her, yeah. Oh my god, I said that wrong. You guys know all the lines. So, dangerous, interesting, we'll have to come back to this. This is what I'm more excited for now, because we're going into territory where I haven't heard this before. I think that with dangerous, unfortunately, because I don't really like pop music, like, it's going to, because it's very 80s synth, and I hate synth instruments, and I hate the synth, I think that that's probably part of it, which unfortunately is not Hermes' fault, but when Odysseus comes in, that's when it musically gets a bit more, like, musical theater-y interesting, but yes, okay, so let's continue. Oh, hello, Attack on Titan! That's what this reminded me of.
You must be who Hermes mentioned. A monster here to block my way.
Okay.
I'd like to hurry up and end this. So if you don't have much to say, then oh, bring it on. I'm not dying here, I'm still fighting here. I'm holding on till I see it through, till I've beaten you.
Ah, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, this feels like very like Attack on Titan, Kingdom Hearts.
Can you swallow? You attack with whirlpools that attract prey, but I see a disadvantage, cause I don't even have to kill you, I just have to avoid you. See if you don't spit it out soon, all that water will destroy you. Oh, bring it on till you're out of breath, till there's nothing left. I'm holding
I really like the melody of this. Oh my god.
till I'm out of here. Oh,
Storm leitmotif! Let's go! I also feel like No Longer You was in there somehow, and I don't know how, but no, we'll have to listen again.
I see it.
Yeah, I love the acoustic guitar vibe.
I've reached it. My wife and son are past this.
Okay, well, clearly it can't be that easy.
Holding on, I am almost there. My love, don't be scared. Hold on, I am on my way. I'll be there.
It's interesting how they've combined the storm motif with, like, kind of like the lullaby vibe from Just a Man. Ah! No.
What?
Okay, well.
No!
Oh, here we go again. Just like, that's the same, like, no energy from, like, I think the Cyclops. Oh, God. Oh, the piano here. What the fuck? Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, my God.
I've been waiting for this moment, for the perfect time to strike. When you're home so close and
No!
you reach your coast.
That's so petty.
Paths collide. I've got a reputation. I've got a name.
Oh, danger leitmotif, I think, with the thumping thing.
You walk or else the world forgets I'm cold. Now get in the water.
Oh, no.
Get in the water. Or I'll raise
Yeah, this is what this is the only part I know.
All of Ithaca will die. Get in the water. Wait. Get in the water. Stop this, please. I'll make tidal waves so profound. Both your wife and your son will drown. No! Get in the water!
Oh my god. I have goosebumps, guys. Like,
Get in the water!
the instrumentation here is crazy.
Mistake my threat for bluff. You have lived more than enough. Get in the water.
There's something with that, like, harp sound, though.
I'll take your son and catch his eyes. That is unless you choose to die.
Oh my god.
Aren't you tired for silence?
Clearly not, Odysseus.
How long will this go? We're both hurting from losses, so why not leave this here?
That is not gonna work. There's no way.
I can't.
Ruthlessness motif.
Maybe you could learn to forgive.
Yeah, ruthlessness.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon.
Oh, the piano! Is there not underworld stuff going on in this song right now? I hear things. I hear suspicious fucking things in here. Oh, the drums are crazy. Oh my god. Oh, the underwater effect, that's crazy. Oh my god. Oh, this is such a Kingdom Hearts vibe, right? Because he's in the water. Oh no! Is he like dying? Oh my god! Like he's drowning, I guess, right? Oh no, not yet! Not yet! Wait! Hello? Guys, are they serious? Hold on. We have to refresh. Okay, that was interesting because I started to hear, like, underworld stuff happening. So we'll have to go investigate that more. I thought that that musically was very cool. Like, I thought that that was very, like, there were a lot of varying instruments. Somebody in chat says it overuses the leitmotifs. I don't think so. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if leitmotifs can be overused. Like, in a musical theater context, like, you know, entire shows have been built off of one leitmotif, like, you know, Into the Woods and stuff like that. And it makes sense when they come back. I would say that they're overused if it didn't make sense, but, like, everything to me makes perfect sense. So that's why I like spotting the leitmotifs. I think it's fun. But yeah, 600 strike, okay. See, so here's something interesting, sorry to interrupt myself, but, like, Odysseus had, like, acoustic guitar, right? And so I feel like now it's electric because, like, Odysseus was trying to be merciful, or, well, merciful, he was trying to, like, compel Poseidon to mercy, right? He was trying to be like, can't we just, like, let this end, right? And Poseidon was like, no! So I feel like that the difference between the acoustic guitar and the electric guitar is, like, the idea of when, I don't know, it'd be interesting to go back and see if that tracks, if the electric guitar is when Odysseus is being ruthless, and then the acoustic is when he is trying to do, like, mercy, kindness. I don't know, we'll find out. This is the danger leitmotif. This is crazy! So, like, is this like Odysseus has all of their power in his heart, or is it like their souls are all behind it? Like, you know what I mean?
I can't afford to die, 'cause I will get back to my son. And I will get back to my wife!
Oh, man. This is so good! The instrumentation is so good! Oh my god!
For every comrade, every one of my friends.
Oh, my friends are my power!
Was slaughtered by your hand. 600 strong.
Oh, this is crazy! Oh my god!
You idiot.
Oh!
Can't you see?
What?
You sealed your fate just to beat me. You released my storm when you opened that bag. Blocked your one-way home. Now you'll never
No,
get
there has to be a reason.
You're going to call off that storm. Or what? You can't kill me.
What is going on?
Exactly.
What?
Wait. Wait. Ah! How does it feel to be helpless? How does it feel to know pain? I watched my friends die in horror, crying as they were all slain.
Oh, I get it.
Calling their captain in vain.
Oh, shit.
Look what you turned me into. Look what we've become. Enough.
Oh,
All of the
fuck.
pain that I've been through. Haven't I suffered enough?
After everything you've done, how will you sleep at night?
Oh my god.
Next to my wife.
Oh my god, what? Oh my god. Hello? That was it? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, okay, hold on guys, hold on. Okay. Oh no! Okay, I think I understand now what happened. I think he trapped them in the storm on purpose. So, like, the idea was to, that they would be, like, locked in combat forever. Because the gods can't be killed, but they can be tortured, right? So, I think that something like that was the idea, was like, oh, now we both have nowhere to go. So I'm gonna use this to punish you as much as possible, and we'll just be stuck in this, right, in this cycle forever. But yeah, that was a good line. That was a good line. Oh my god. I don't know how I feel about how the song ended, because it just sort of, like, ended, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I think that now, what do I wanna do? I'm trying to think. About what we wanna... This one loses context without the animation. I mean, I like to guess, you know what I mean? So what I'm assuming happened in my head was that, first of all, the souls of everybody, you know, I don't know whether it was, like, in Odysseus's heart or, like, you know, a portal, like, to the underworld, like, opened or whatever, but I'm assuming that, like, one of those two things happened, and, like, they helped somehow, and then Odysseus used the windbag to trap them so that neither of them would have anywhere to go. I'm not entirely sure how he got the trident, but I'm assuming he just, like, got it when, you know, Poseidon was distracted. You guys are saying something about a jetpack? Yeah, there is the thing that you can hear him picking up the trident, right? So yeah, I think that, yeah, it seems like Odysseus was empowered, at least for a minute, by something. Whether it was, again, underworld souls of friends, or, like, actually, you guys are saying that he zooms up with a jetpack, but yeah, I got the part where he was, stabbing him with the trident. I wasn't sure how the trident got into his hands, but I understand, like, the idea of using the storm as, like, a distraction, and then also, again, trapping them, right? Like, kind of trapping them both in constant, like, forever combat. But yeah, the jetpack, I don't know. I wouldn't know how that happened. But yeah, that makes sense now that that's, like, Poseidon's blood, right? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that this song ended sort of strangely. You know? The jetpack was so random. I mean, I'm assuming on Broadway it wouldn't happen exactly like that. Like, I'm sure that, I mean, it may be more of a defying gravity type vibe. Yeah, I don't know. These songs are good. I feel like I do have to break out at least one headphone. Like, I feel like I need at least a single, like, proper headphone, because I feel like that I'm missing some of the instrumentation somehow, because I'm like, this feels really muted for some reason, but I have a feeling that it's my earbuds. I have a feeling that it's my earbuds' fault. But yeah, you guys are saying that he was attacking him with the windbag. Like, when he was using the windbag, he used that to, like, get an advantage. But yeah, I felt like that was really good. I really liked everybody's voices coming together. I feel like that was really interesting. I'm assuming that that had something to do with, like, Athena, question mark? Oh yeah, I meant to say this at the beginning of the stream. I totally thought that we would find out if Athena was alive today. But then we did not find out. So, we did not find out if Athena's alive. So that's concerning. I guess she'll come back probably, like, at the final hour. Because here's the thing, I don't know if this counts, or, like, if I'm supposed to use this information to kind of cheat, if that makes sense. But Athena used to be the narrator of Epic, so unless Jorge decided to kill her later, she still has to be alive by the end of the show because she was the narrator. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Unless Jay changed that specifically because he wanted to kill off Athena. So, yeah, like, that's why I'm assuming that she'll come back, you know. I'm assuming that, like, either this was, like, empowerment from Athena, similar to what Athena did for Telemachus, just, like, far away. In the book, she doesn't die, yeah. They could change it. You guys are right, but, like, because of that, usually if you, I don't know, it depends because the show was still in progress, but that would be a pretty radical thing to, like, not know. You know what I mean? To, like, not know. So I don't think that, I think that she's alive, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I think that she's alive, and that, because she was the narrator. She was the narrator. She has to be alive. I feel like Athena coming back would be anticlimactic because she had such a good finale. Well, I think that it depends on when she pops out, right? I think that I could see it like, you know, Athena is like, maybe she arrives during the strategy portion because that's when she helps Odysseus in the novel. You know what I mean? Also, yeah, Poseidon just said that he can't die. So, that's something that happened. So I feel like that, like, she's gonna be kind of at a distance. I think it's gonna be like an everyone comes together moment, if that makes sense. Like, and she's not gonna be in a good enough shape to help him, but she's gonna be like, Odysseus, you got this. You know, like, you're okay. Like, you can do it by yourself because you're strong and, like, you've learned everything you needed to learn. Because I feel like that what's interesting about this saga is that we did learn, like, Odysseus did learn the lesson at the end, right? I think that he did. I think that the point is that he went too far into ruthlessness during the Thunder Saga, and he realized that that got him in trouble, right? And so I feel like that Not Sorry for Loving You, and then some of the other songs in God games, they're supposed to showcase that Odysseus has learned from his mistake, and I feel like that what this does really well is solidify the fact that Odysseus does still want to believe in kindness, right? And so I feel like he's finally almost, like, not yet, but he's, like, almost hit the equilibrium, or, like, you know, the golden mean. Like, you know, I've talked about this before probably in other streams, but, like, there's a thing in, like, Greek, you know, philosophy or, like, society, and it was like you either exist in excess or you exist in deficiency. And so I feel like that Odysseus is finally, like, almost in the pocket of being, like, the perfect balance of kind and ruthless. So I think that we're finally getting to that theme in this one. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that the only reason why I don't think Athena's death is, like, I don't want to say unsatisfying, but, like, it's, I don't know if Athena's death fits in with the rest of the themes of the show, if that makes sense. I would have to think about it a little more, you know? I would have to think about it. But I think that, like, Athena living makes more sense to me with, like, the theme that the show is trying to present. Maybe. It depends on what the ending is. You know what I mean? Also, I think, like, the thing with Zeus being, like, why would Zeus try so hard to hurt her? I mean, Zeus was just mad, right? Clearly the gods can be hurt even if they can't be killed, so you could still want to inflict the maximum amount of pain onto someone, like, you know what I mean? And still not be dead. Yeah, I think that she had her power drained. I don't think that she's gonna, like, I don't think that she's going to show up again in terms of, like, her full strength, but I feel like that she's gonna be like, Odysseus, you can do it, huh? Right? Or something, or, like, Telemachus or whatever. She's gonna be like Yoda. I don't know. I've never seen Star Wars. That's all I can think is she's like Yoda in the distance. Okay. So I think what we're gonna do. See, well, here's the problem, you guys. The problem is that I have an earring in, and so I can't actually, like, put these on, you know what I mean? So we might have to do, like, a little bit of this and that, because I feel like I didn't hear some instruments properly. And I think I also want to pull up the lyrics, just so I can read them and we can decide some things. That was Obi-Wan. Yes, that's what I meant. I'm sorry.
They said they're taking you away, that you're not mine to save. And soon I won't get to see your face, so I came by to say you're unlike anyone I have ever known, 'cause you're all I've ever known.
I'm gonna put the volume up a bit just because at this point I'm not gonna talk over the music anymore. I do like the very, like, somber, calm vocals. Oh, you guys are saying it's the Wind God leitmotif? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know that one well enough. Oh, wait, guys, the visuals are gone. Why didn't anybody say anything? Hello? Okay, there we go, sorry. Yeah, so let's... Yeah, so let's look at this. I do think, and soon I won't get to see your face is a bit of a weird lyric, but I like you're unlike anyone I have ever known because you're all I've ever known. I kind of like that. I think that that's, I think that that's a good one. The see your face one, I don't know about that, but...
And if I pushed you, or if I came on too strong, or if I ambushed you, for that I'll say I was wrong. And if you hate me, then I am sorry, my love's too much for you. But I'm not sorry that I'll say I was wrong. And if you hate me, then I am...
There was an interesting little Bridgerton violin back there.
I'm sorry, my love's too much for you. But
it's hilarious. So I'm looking at the lyrics on Genius Lyrics, and there are some big Calypso haters writing the citations for this. But yeah, so listening to this now with dual wielding the headphones, it does sound a bit more, plentiful, I guess, in terms of the, instrumentation. So I do think that that was just, again, my earbuds maybe not having, surround sound, vibes.
I'm not sorry for loving you.
I'm not sorry for loving you.
I'm not sorry for loving you.
I'm not sorry for loving you. Calypso.
Let me speak. I spent my whole life here. Was
Yeah, I like
cast
those
away
violin
when
slides.
I was young, alone for 100 years. I had no friends but the sky and sun. So when you washed ashore, I thought for sure that you were my dream come true.
I like that one. I'm a sucker for, like, when you use the words and the words mean different that, like, so when you washed ashore, I thought for sure that you were my dream come true. That was good. I like that. Oh, man. I'm a sucker for those sorts of things. Also, the stream will not get copyright I mean, it will, but it won't because I have permission from the Epic people, so all I have to do is dispute the claim after we're done, if there are any claims. And so, yeah, luckily they have given me permission to do my thing. They think it's, cool, they have said, which I'm very flattered because all I'm doing is being neurotic in my, computer room for like 4 hours about the song. But yeah, it's so funny how she's like, let me speak. But I guess it kind of makes sense to me, though, because, like, Calypso, Odysseus is a talker. Odysseus talks a lot, you know what I mean? So I kind of get it. I'm pretty sure the violins are copying Penelope's viola. Now that's interesting. That's an interesting idea. Oh god, guys, we are cooking.
I thought I knew. So if I pushed you, or if I came on too strong, or if
I don't know how I feel about these background vocals, guys. That's the only thing where I'm like, because I can't really remember being this... I can't remember them being this prominent in previous sagas. I guess it's because, like, when they remade the Troy saga and then, the Cyclops saga, they went back and remastered a lot of the background vocals, and, like, so I guess that's why I kind of liked them when they were a bit more subtle, and I could, like, I don't know, barely hear that they were there, if that makes sense. Like, I liked them a little bit better when they were more in the background. And, like, it was, like, because now with how this is mixed, it sounds too much. Like, I wish it was, like, Calypso and the background singers versus, like, Calypso mixing in with the background singer. Does that make sense? I don't know. Obviously, when the show goes to, again, on the stage, it'll be different. Yeah, they're a bit loud. That's basically what I'm trying to say. They're not, like, they're blending together instead of, like, they're blending together instead of, being, like, underneath. We can barely hear the background vocals. I don't know, guys. I can hear them, like, they are, like, in my ears. You know what I mean? I can hear them very prominently. I think it's the fact that the backups are singing without her. Yeah, that might be it too. But yeah, they seem very loud. Again, different headphones and stuff. It may sound different to you guys, but I have 2 earbuds in and they still sound loud.
And if you hate me, then
like, me was very loud.
Too much for you.
That one's nice.
I'm not sorry for loving you.
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 I'm not sorry. I'm angry and tired and restless and sad. I'm stuck in the moments I swore that we had. I wish you would chase me or try to embrace me for once. I wish you would lie and say
I love you,
you do.
but not in the way that you want me to.
I hate that I fell in love with you.
Hate that I fell in love with you.
Why did
I think that this is interesting. So here's what I think about this. I think that what she's saying is that, like, she hates that she fell in love with Odysseus because she can't even be mad because at the end of the day, he's still, like, a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't mistreat her or anything. Like, she, even after all this, he says he loves her, but not in the way that you want me to. And so I feel like that when she says, I hate that I fell in love with you, it was like, she still loves him because she can't be mad at that. Like, you know what I mean? Because he still clearly cares about her. Does that make sense? So I think that that's interesting. I think that she never says she hates him. She hates that she fell in love with someone who is so perfect, but, like, in another life, I think, right? Like, it's perfect, but clearly not for her, you know, because there's Penelope and everything. Like, there's one good man, and it's Odysseus, even though, I mean, he's not always a good man, but you guys know what I mean? Like, it had to be this guy. It had to be, like, the person that does care about her and still, like, has a lot of care for his people and his kingdom and everything. And, like, he's not, like, this selfish man. Like, he's a good man. He just can't be, like, her man. Right? So I think that that's interesting. I think that that's an interesting thing for her to say. Because now it's like,
How am I supposed to get over you?
How am I supposed to get over you?
Why in the world won't you love me too?
so this is what I am feeling questionable about this song, I guess, is that I feel like that we didn't, like, resolve anything, if that makes sense, because, like, all songs should go on, like, an emotional journey circle or, like, a story arc. Like, it needs to have a dynamic arc. I just feel like that the way that this ends doesn't really, and I guess it's because Calypso doesn't know the answer. Like, I guess that's probably what people will say, is that that's the reason why it ends the way it does, because Calypso doesn't know. However, I question necessity. I question necessity in the sense of, like, I wish Odysseus got more of a part here. I was really expecting, after he said that, like, I thought that there would be a bit more of a conversation. I think that, like, if I were going to give a suggestion, I think that what would make this better? Question mark? I don't know. Like, better's a you know, questionable word. Because obviously, like, that's subjective. But if I wanted to give a suggestion that I think would help, I feel like that what they should have done is have Odysseus respond a bit better and be like, hey, I do love you, but not like that, and, like, here's how you should live your life, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like that he should have said something, like, he should have said something, I don't know, like, and then it could have been, because I think that the other reason why people are so in the weeds with, like, Calypso discourse, like, you know what I mean? I think the reason why people are so in the weeds with Calypso discourse is because we don't really know how Odysseus feels, and I think that this would have been a good time to clarify Odysseus's feelings, and then they didn't, because here's the thing, like, what happens in Love in Paradise does not clarify Odysseus's feelings about Calypso, because the end of the song is, like, Odysseus's feelings about everything, and, like, how much of a disaster his life is, if that makes sense. I feel like that what would have helped is Odysseus saying something, like, you know what I mean? Because obviously there are multiple interpretations of, Calypso's story and everything, and so, like, in some versions, it is abuse, kind of like Circe, right? But Epic made a conscious change to take out the Circe abuse, right? And so I feel like that they tried to do the exact same thing here, where it's like, Odysseus doesn't love her like that, but I think that they found some sort of solace in each other the last 7 years. You know what I mean? And so I think that with Odysseus being trapped with her, obviously he wanted to leave, but I think that, like, that's kind of the point, that he still saw her as a friend, and she still helped him in some way, and stopped him, you know, in the darkest points of his psyche and stuff. So I don't know. Because, yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, because that's what I saw in the Discord server, too. That, like, the thing with Circe and the thing with Calypso is not canon to the Epic version. Like, it may happen in other retellings, but it's not in this one. So I think what would have helped with this song, especially because it does get repetitive with the chorus happening, I think that it would have been better if Odysseus was like, I don't know, like, he had this thing, like, I understand how you feel, because I lost all my friends, and, like, we both share, like, the same grief, but, like, it's time for both of us to move on, or something like that, right? And so I think that maybe they should have done, like, a response or something. Because it's kind of weird that he would say that and then just walk away. He's like, I do love you, just not in the way that you want me to. And then he just walks away instead of, like, you know, saying something a bit more concrete. So I think in terms of, like, a revision, because obviously, like, this is still a concept album, right? In terms of the concept, I would cut, like, I don't know. I feel like that we only need, like, 2 minutes of Calypso, if that makes sense. And then this minute should have been Odysseus replying to her. Because I feel like that we have no resolution. I think that, like, it kind of feels like that this was just like, we need to make sure that we establish what happened with Calypso, and so that's it. Does that make sense? Like, you know, I feel like that it was kind of like they were obligated to put in a song. And so they tried to wrap it up, but I'm not entirely satisfied with how this wrapped up. He probably doesn't want to talk to Calypso for a long time. I mean, but they need to show that, though. And I feel like that what's causing the confusion, especially in terms of, like, fandom-related discourse, is that they didn't adequately convey either side very well. Because my interpretation, just guessing and, like, looking at, you know, like, looking at the songs and, like, the themes that the other songs have, especially with Circe, like, I feel like that the idea is, I think that Jay was going for, was that Calypso, like, clearly overstepped by keeping him here, and he did not want to be here, but then over the course of whatever, like all of their time here, they were stuck together, and so they kind of had, like, Odysseus eventually, did care about her in some way, especially because she cared enough about him to try to comfort him when he was going through all this grief and his, turmoil, you know? Yeah, I think that, like, the let me speak thing is fine, but I wish Odysseus talked after she was done, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm really, like, struggling with this song, is I feel like there's, like, kind of mild incompleteness. Yeah, and the problem with everything in between being implied is that you get these situations where, like, clearly the chat is very split on Calypso, right? Some people clearly see, or, you know, clearly think that, like, Calypso is as abusive as she is, like, in other versions of the story. And then, you know, other people think that Jay wanted to, like, cut that out. And so, like, I interpret it a little bit differently, because I'm trying to give a generous interpretation between the lines, if that makes sense. But some people will not do a generous interpretation between the lines. And so you can't just leave things like this between the lines. Do you know what I mean? And so unfortunately, when you leave stuff to interpretation, but you give little substance in terms of what interpretation you wanted for the themes, I don't know. It's weird, because, like, all art is interpreted, right? But, like, this is not something that I would have left necessarily up for interpretation, because it's important for the sake of the story. Because I feel like that what happened here was that Odysseus, like, during his time on the island, he learned the thing about, like, ruthlessness versus kindness. You know what I mean? I mean, what is there to say? I mean, Odysseus being miserable, like, day one is not the same as him being miserable, like, 7 years later, right? I needed, like, a couple more lines just explaining how he felt, because I think that that's my problem, is that everybody assumes that how Odysseus first feels in Love in Paradise is how he feels, like, the entire time. You know what I mean? Because where they start at is clearly not where they ended that. You know what I mean? Like, we're kind of missing, like, how Odysseus, how did he come around to loving her as a friend, right? Like, clearly, if that's what they're trying to say, that he came to care about her as a friend, clearly then they're not both equally miserable, because that line implies that they became friends. But I need to know how Odysseus went from, like, I don't want to be here and I hate you, right, to I don't want to be here, but I feel like that we became sort of survivors together and we are friends. You know what I mean? So I think that this song could have used, like, a couple more lines, or, like, Odysseus having a course. But he has lines in Love in Paradise that he's miserable 7 years later. But, like, he's not miserable because of her. He's miserable because he's trapped. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Right? Like, that doesn't help me, because what he's saying in Love is Paradise, when he's saying all he hears are screams, that doesn't have anything to do with Calypso. That's about his, you know, PTSD and stuff, right? That has nothing to do with her anymore. That's, like, everything that he lost his men and, like, everything that he's going through, right? So that's what I mean in terms of, I feel like people are conflating the feeling of when he was on the ledge and attributing that to Calypso, but I think that him being on the cliff was going to happen whether or not Calypso was there, right? And so we need to understand how he felt about her when he's not on the ledge or whatever. Like, why was Calypso able to stop him from going off the ledge? Was it just magic, or was it, like, that he actually was moved by what she was saying? I think that's my thing, right? Because I interpret that he was kind of convinced by what Calypso was saying, or else he would have jumped, right? In a musical theater song, if the characters aren't convinced, you keep singing, or, like, that would have been the outcome, right? So clearly he was convinced, right? And he called to Athena because he was trapped, right? He wanted her help. After all of this time, like, and him going through it, he decided to, you know, kind of put the beef aside, like, put the beef with Athena aside, like, he was calling out to her out of desperation. So I think that, like, Calypso, there's too much going on in the Calypso plotline for this to be the resolution, right? Because Calypso being on the island, and then Odysseus having this PTSD from just killing all of his men are two separate issues that need to be, like, clearly defined somehow, and I think that Love in Paradise kind of was the start of making them defined, but I feel like that this could have helped a little bit, right? If Odysseus was like, at first, you really fucking annoyed me, I don't know, right? Like, obviously, this would not be the lyric. Like, at first, like, I really hated you, but then I realized that we were both trapped in different ways, and you made me realize that, like, it's still worth fighting to go back home or something, right? Like, if Odysseus had, like, Calypso, you made me realize X, right? Like, I feel like that would have been more of a full conclusion, because I don't know what Odysseus learned from being here with Calypso. We need to establish what Odysseus actually feels like he learned from being here. And I feel like that the idea was that he learned with the ruthlessness and kindness thing, because this was his chance to be kind after he went on this, like, extreme ruthlessness streak and got everyone killed. So I feel like that what should have happened is that Odysseus should have said, like, for all of your faults, and for how pushy you are, you showed me kindness when I thought that I was a monster and I thought that I was unlovable. And I will always, you know, appreciate that when I thought that I was a monster, you still saw kindness in me, or that I was worth loving or something, right? Like, and it doesn't need to be excusing her behavior as much as Odysseus saying that he thought that he didn't deserve to live, and that that Calypso convinced him that life was worth living, if that makes sense. So I think that we need to, like, I would go back and workshop this a little bit. I'm not completely satisfied. I feel like that would have made more sense. Like what I just said, obviously I'm biased because I said it, you know? Like, obviously I'm biased because I said it, you know? And so I would have liked, like, you still loved me even though I thought that I was a monster, right? Like something, and then make a callback to monster in there. I think that would have made a lot of sense. I don't have a lot of, like, instrumentation things to talk about because we don't have a lot of stuff going on.
You do.
There is Puppeteer. I don't quite understand why Puppeteer is in here. But yeah, like, I think that this song needs some workshopping still. And I think that that's, again, like I said, to me, what makes the most sense would be to have Odysseus, again, like, make a callback to Monster and be like, I thought that I was a monster, I thought I was unlovable, and that I didn't deserve to live, but you still loved me anyway, or something, right? Like, you could do something like that. And so I think that the problem is that this song focused a little too much on Calypso, and not enough on, like, how Odysseus felt, and then that's kind of the problem, right? And so if Odysseus had said, you made me feel human at a time when I thought that I was a monster, at least that would be something? I don't know. Like, I feel like that would be something, but I feel like that this didn't give me anything. But yeah, like, I think that the problem is, React, is that Jay changed that, and, like, that's not canon anymore, right? And so, for him to just, like, leave, like, without a second thought or whatever, like, you can't change one without changing the other. You know what I mean? Like, if you're gonna rewrite the story to make Calypso apparently, like, not to that extreme anymore, then you need to also rewrite that Odysseus, it feels kind of bad that he left, or something. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I don't know. I feel like that, yeah, the Puppeteer thing is interesting. Maybe it's foreshadowing the upcoming problems with Poseidon. I was thinking that it had something to do with, like, Odysseus was lying when he said that he loved her, and he just wanted to give her that solace, but I don't like that. So, I don't know. I think that not loving you needs to be rewritten a little bit, and I'm sorry. I feel like that's mean. I don't know. Like, I think that's mean because it just came out, and I'm like, guys, we gotta change it, but I think it needs to be changed. I think Odysseus needs to say something, because there's too much. I also feel like, this is the time where the audience would get up to pee. You know what I mean? And so that's a problem. We need to make sure that we have some sort of value in terms of Calypso learning a lesson, right? Like, it's too bad that we didn't get, like, again, that I'm sorry that you're stuck here. You made me, again, feel human when I thought that I was a monster. And, like, I appreciate the fact that you loved me despite all my faults or whatever. And so, yeah. I wish he gave her, like, a piece of advice, like, a single piece of advice. Like, never stop fighting or something. So, right, and so, yeah, I'm not sorry for loving you is kind of in, like, questionable territory where I feel like I don't know if it could serve the central thesis of the show if we went in and fixed some of it. But I feel like that we didn't do enough to have it serve the thesis of the show, and if the idea is ruthlessness and mercy, like, you should have this idea that, like, Odysseus, Calypso made Odysseus show kindness again. I don't know. Just something. Something needs to happen here. Something else needs to happen. But let's go through Dangerous then.
600 men, 600 deaths under my command, 'cause I had one goal in mind.
Okay, so this is full speed ahead. Okay, what's really sad about this is that I'm pretty sure that, like, the reason why nothing is happening here is because there's no call and response, and I think that's fucked up.
600 men, 600 deaths under my
That chord
command,
sounded minor or
'cause I had
something,
one
though. Like, it
goal
sounded
in
funky.
mind. No fleet, no band, only this raft that I made by hand. How will I reach my homeland?
All you have to do is not open this bag.
Okay. Because I had one goal in mind, no fleet, no band, only this raft I made by hand. Okay, yeah. How will I reach my home? I mean, that's fine. I like the full speed ahead callback. I like how there's no call and response because everybody is dead. No fleet, no band. That's a little fucked up, a little sad. All you have to do is not open this bag. Okay. Odysseus is a yap factory. I don't know how you managed to end things, but not in the way you want me to. That's exactly how I feel too. Oh my god, okay. But let's focus on this now.
Hello, old friend. So you're the one who talked to Calypso. Why are you here?
I don't know how I feel about that long pause. What do you mean, why are you here? Clearly he's here to save you. Like, shouldn't you be a bit more glad to see him? I guess he hasn't had a good experience with gods lately, but it's just funny because it's like, like, you'd think that he'd be excited after 7 years to see someone who's not Calypso, but he's just like, why are you here? He's so, like, blasé about it. I don't know. I'd be a little bit more like, whoa, Hermes, oh my god, another person, but anyway.
You're being given a final option.
Okay.
Consider this your one last chance to make it back home and abandon caution. Wash it away like the blood your hands have known. I know if you dance with fate, then I know you'll enhance your state.
If your plan's so great, then why'd you wait to say it?
Okay, so let's talk about this. So, I feel like that there is a danger leitmotif going on in the beat. I don't know, though. It's kind of hard to tell because, like, this is gonna sound really stupid, but some instruments sometimes don't really sound like instruments. Does that make sense? And so, like, whatever's going on, like, with the funky techno thing that's keeping the beat or whatever, it sounds so artificial that I can't tell what kind of note it's playing. So I don't actually know if it's the danger leitmotif. It may just be vibes, you know what I mean? Okay, so let's look at these lyrics for a second. Yeah. I I guess you're being given a final option with Zeus. That's fine. I love Wash It Away Like the Bloods Your Hands Have Known. I know if you dance with like, I like that. I always love when songs do that. And like that, it's really fitting with Hermes because Hermes has like a sort of twisty way of speaking. Hey, Cal, are you feeling better? Oh, yeah, I am feeling a little better now. I still need to make sure that I keep my voice, warm? That's not what I'm trying to say. I need to make sure that I don't overstrain myself because I still have the audition, but... Oh, it's too bad that this isn't pink or it would match my clothes. Okay, anyway. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about instrumentally what's going on. Like, I wish Hermes just had something else. I don't know what I would give him. I just wish that there was something...
dangerous, my friend. You need a mindset change for this. You cannot get away with playing safe for this.
I do like the piano or whatever that was.
All on the line, put your whole brain in it. Remember every trick in your domain for this. You gotta treat it like it is the main.
I think that, like, I wish that they had added a bit more melody here. This was the same thing that happened with Ares. Ares had melody only, I think? Maybe? No. I think Ares in God Games, what happened in God Games was that Ares had leitmotif and no melody line. Like, he had no melody line at all. It was just like the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, it was just the Athena motif for Ares, and then, like, what he was singing, there was no melody for him. I think that here the inverse problem is happening, where we have beat, but we have no melody. I wish that they had given Hermes maybe, because you hear the melody on that instrument that is, like, sometimes, I don't know what it is, it sounds like a piano or, like, something else kind of high or something. And you hear that join with him sometimes, but yeah, so I feel like that we could have used some of that, or maybe, like, some counterpoint or something. Like, it's very simple, and that's fine, but I don't know. I feel like Wouldn't You Like It had more going on. Am I crazy?
You wanna get home, put it all on the line, be dangerous.
All right, I'm in. What do I do?
First up, uncharted
Hold on.
waters.
I need to go back.
Dangerous, my friend. You need a mindset change.
I like
for
change
this.
for
You
this.
cannot get away with playing safe for this. You wanna get home, put it all on the line, put your whole brain in it. Remember every trick in your domain for this. You gotta treat it like it is the main event. You wanna get home, put it all on the line, be dangerous.
Okay. Okay, I do like mindset change for this. And, like, that sort of... Okay, there's, like, not a clear rhyme here at all. Like, there's not clear rhymes here at all, but I kind of don't care. I like the dangerous mindset change for this. You cannot get away with playing safe for this. Yeah, safe for this sounds like... Oh, I see. So, mindset and get rhyme. Oh, I understand. Okay. Yeah, mindset and get are the little crispy rhyme in the middle, and then safe for this, and then change for this is, like, kind of like, well, that's not even really a slant rhyme, it's just, like, we're ending the same way, I guess. But yeah, I don't mind that they don't perfectly rhyme. I do have a theory about why Epic doesn't perfectly rhyme, and I won't get into all of it here, but, like, if you guys have seen my video about, Warrior of the Mind, it's a time-stamped section that I talk about it. I don't know how I feel like put your whole brain in it. I don't know if I like that one. I have noticed, I don't know if this is just like, because we're getting the sagas faster or something, but I feel like that the lyrics have become a slightly more suspicious. Sometimes, I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a concept album, so this stuff can be changed later. Put your whole brain in this just makes me think, like, it's the whole, like, you know, the whole ussy, it's the whole ussy into this. Anyway. Don't worry about it. Yes, I do think the karaoke stream will happen this month, by the way. As long as I don't die, I guess. But yeah, I wish there was a bit more going on instrumentally.
All right, I'm in. What do I do?
What do you mean you're in? Do you need convincing? You've been stuck on this island for 7 years.
Stop uncharted waters. When lost, look towards the sky. Follow the North Star, no matter how
like
keep on
verse
rolling.
thing.
When strangers look around the aisle, when danger greets you with a smile, fight your way through, do what you must do, but no matter what, keep moving. It's gonna be dangerous, my friend. You need a mindset change. But
that was a little bit better, like in terms of the instrument. I do like that. I do like the set of rhymes in there, and I like just, I don't know, like it explains what to do so smoothly. You know, follow the North Star no matter how far you think you're going, you keep on rowing. Like, I kind of like that. But yeah, when strangers lurk around the aisle, as if there hasn't already been. Oh, okay, this is saying, oh, it's in reference to the suitors lurking around, Ithaca. That's interesting. When danger greets you with a smile, fight your way through, do what you must do. I really like that. Like, I like this little section. Is that the same as the verse? Oh, yeah, I think it is, probably, yeah. I think it's, like, kind of an expansion of the like, the fate, enhance your state. I think it's a little different, actually. Anyway, I think when he says put your whole brain in it, it means Odysseus hasn't been making good choices lately. I guess that's true. And also, like, he hasn't been using his brain. He's just been, like, vibing on the island for 7 years. So you know what? Okay, idiots, react. You kind of convinced me. I don't know how I feel about it. Izel, yeah, like, I'm still getting accustomed to it. I feel like that Thunder Saga was so, like, crazy and so strong. I'm still kind of, like, deciding. It's not that Wisdom Saga wasn't, but I have some issues with Wisdom Saga that I talked about in the last stream. Like, I wish that, like, Telemachus's thing resolved in a different way, and I talked about that on stream. And there were a couple other things where I feel like from a technical perspective, the songs should have, not resolved, that's not the right word, but, like, they needed to go on a different arc than they did. And so I think that the problem, if I had to guess, Izel, that you probably have, is that it's not that the songs are bad or that they're not catchy, but they don't feel like that they go on an arc, if that makes sense. Like, it doesn't feel like Odysseus. Here's the other thing, okay? Here's the problem. So, if a character is convinced of something, the song should technically be over. I mean, I know that Odysseus says, what do I do, right? So, like, that's why the song keeps going, but I think that that's an important rule that some of the songs in the sagas, forget, is that, like, every song is a fight. You're fighting for the character to understand your perspective, right? And so a song has to end with somebody winning or somebody losing. And I think the problem with, like, with Telemachus, I think what I had said was that I wished that there was a bridge to talk about the angst with his dad more. I think that that's probably what I said, because then Little Wolf would have made more sense in terms of, like, it's not only that Telemachus wants to go on adventures, but that he wants to go on adventures specifically because he feels like that he's not a man, and, like, your father's a man who taught you who you are, mine was never there. Like, angst about being, like, a good man and a good king or something, and, like, how can he do that without his father? Like, that's kind of what I wanted, because there needs to be, like, I don't know. I don't want to say a twist, but, like, my personal opinion, anyway, is that, like, every song needs to have something spicy that you wouldn't exactly expect to be there. And by spicy, I do not mean sexual, okay? Some people, when I say spicy, they get confused. I mean spicy in, like, the literal, like, sort of pepper way. So, if you think about, for example, this is gonna be kind of random, but if you think about, like, part of your world, for example, like, oh no, I did not make up those lines on the spot. That's from Aladdin 3, The King of Thieves, right? It is from the Aladdin movie where Aladdin is, like, angsty about the fact that his father may still be alive and he thought he was dead all this time. So that's what I want for Telemachus. I want Aladdin 3 vibes. What I was gonna say was, oh, spicy, right? So this is a weird example, I guess, but, like, for The Little Mermaid, for example, in Part of Your World, right? That song is not just about Ariel wanting to go up and learn about humans, right? She has in the bridge, like, what would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Bet you on land they'd understand. Bet they don't reprimand their daughters, bright young women sick of swimming, ready to stand, right? So when I say spicy, that's kind of what I mean the song cannot just be about, like, what the title is. You have to give that little oomph. You have to give that little step up. So, like, with Part of Your World, we find out, oh, it's not just that Ariel wants to learn about humans, it's that she fundamentally does not feel understood. She doesn't feel part of mermaid society. She doesn't feel understood by her father, right? She thinks that she will find acceptance in the human world. So, imagine Part of Your World if that part was cut. Like, would it still be a good song? Like, sure. Like, maybe it would be okay, but, like, that is, like, the heart and soul of the song in terms of, like, the thesis of the rest of the movie, which is that Triton needs to learn the lesson about how he has treated his daughter, right? And how Ariel felt so misunderstood that she was driven into the arms of Ursula. So that's what I mean. Every song needs to have almost like a twist. It's almost a twist of, like, you didn't expect when you heard Part of Your World, you expected Ariel to say that she wants to be with humans. You didn't expect her to say that she fundamentally feels misunderstood, right? And so every single song has something like that. Where there's like, oh, this is like the twist, right? So I think that the problem is, if I had to guess, the sort of intangible thing of why people think that, like, the sagas are not hitting recently is because there is not that sort of there is no more to Dangerous than what the title says. There's not some secret thing that we learned in Sorry for Not Loving You, right? Like, in terms of this, obviously we're not finished yet, so I don't know if I should be talking about this right now, but I think, like, in Dangerous, like, I don't know exactly what I would have done, but I don't know, like, why didn't Hermes reveal that Athena, like, died for you? Like, I feel like that could have been the, right? Like, a lot of people sacrificed so you could be here, so get your head in the fucking game, Odysseus. Like, I guess Hermes isn't that type of character, which may be the problem, but I think that, like, that's what some of the songs are lacking. They are lacking, like, the twist. Or the added, like, oomph of it, you know? And that's something that can be fixed, right? So, like, that's the thing that we also have to keep in mind as well, is that, like, that's something that is, like, we already have a good foundation here in some of these songs. They just kind of need a bridge. I think that that's what we're pretty much missing. We're just missing, like, a bridge. You know what I mean? In all of them, almost. Every song I have a problem with doesn't have a bridge, I don't think.
Remember every trick in your domain for this. You gotta treat it like it's the main event. You wanna get home, put it all on the line, be dangerous. And lastly, the win back. We went through so much to get
See,
this.
okay, this is what I have a problem with. So they were like, we went through so much to get the win back, but, like, what about Athena, bro? She died for you. So I think that that's what this song is missing. I think that like, that's a little oomph. That's a little thing that it could have, like, needed, you know? That's what I wanted, like, in terms of, like, we went through so much to get, like, we went through so much, like, kind of in part a bit more onto Odysseus about how much they went
This
through.
bag closed if you wanna get home, sir.
You won't get another time to try.
The raging storm inside won't let you get closer.
It was meant to stop you by design.
Cause no mortal can pass Poseidon's storm. Open this bag and you'll never make it home. You'll never make it home.
Don't you know that danger is my friend?
This is
My whole
nice.
life I've trained for this. I cannot tell you how much I have paid for this. I have to get home, put it all on the line. I'm gonna use ruthlessness, every trick, every skill put to use for this. I plan to put an end to all the foolishness. I have to get home, put it all on the line, or be dangerous. Hermes, thank you.
Don't thank me, friend. I'm not the one who fought
Yeah,
you.
so, like,
Then who?
obviously we get
Good luck.
this, but, like, I feel like that we needed a bit more than that. I know that Hermes is tricky. Maybe it's that, like, telling him that Athena died would not be conducive to a good mental state right now. But yeah, so I don't know. Okay, well, you guys were talking about the Winions. I think that it's better if they sound deeper because they were annoying, and so are the Lotus Eaters. So yeah, so that's the only thing. I think Dangerous is a bop, but I feel like that kind of, again, similar. If I had to rank them, I think Sorry for Not Loving You is, like, worse in terms of, like, lacking a point, right? At least this song has Odysseus's little thing, like, of, like, yeah, I'm gonna go home, and so, like, that's good. I don't know. Am I crazy? I'm like, I feel like that we need to, like, cut a little bit of Hermes and put more Odysseus back in this song, if that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not bad. I just think I could have used, like, if this is, like, mostly Hermes and, like, Odysseus is, like, a footnote at the end, I would have liked kind of, like, 60-40 as opposed to 70-30. Do you know what I mean? I could have used, like, slightly, a little bit more Odysseus, I think. Maybe. Yeah. You're asking for more Odysseus. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, in terms of articulating, because a couple of people have said that they feel like that this saga just didn't hit, right? And so I'm trying to figure out, like, from a technical perspective, what explanation I can give people to, you know, explain why they feel the way they do. And so, no, this is not my first time listening to the epic, but I'm trying to figure out in terms of, like, okay, why do people have this sort of nebulous feeling that they can't identify? So if I had to say anything, I think that it's mostly Sorry for Not Loving You, but maybe this song too, they lack, like, the thesis thing and, like, the twisty twist. I think it hits better than a Sorry for Not Loving You, but I kind of do wonder if, again, people would get up to pee, okay? Imagine you're in a show, and these two songs play back to back, and you know that Odysseus is gonna get on the raft, and we didn't learn any new information, right? So, like, these two songs, I could see someone going to the running to the bathroom, right? Because they're like, okay, it's alright. Like, Calypso, we already understand. Hermes is just gonna explain to him how to get off the island. You know what I mean? No. We've listened to the whole, saga earlier in the stream, and now we're kind of doing the more musical analysis. Also, like, in terms of musical analysis, guys, I feel like I'm not doing very well today. You know what I mean? Because Dangerous did not give me a lot in terms of, like, leitmotifs or anything. I think that, like, there is, like, a mysterious Athena thing in here, but, like, there's not a lot going on with the instruments, so I can't really, analyze that much. Yeah, I'm not gonna be when Harvey... I mean, yeah, it depends, right? It depends on, I guess, visually also what's going on, right? But I feel like people would be... One slight problem I have with Hermes in terms of imagining a real musical theater performance is I can't imagine how they would play out the choreography. I could see, like, a weird... like, be a man sort of situation from Mulan, if that makes sense, where, like, everyone is helping Odysseus with the raft or something. Like, I don't know, it's hard to sort of explain, but I'm imagining, like, I think the Winions would probably be people. I think that they would be people in costume, so I think that they would be, yeah, they'd be helping. Yeah, or explains how to travel the sea, whatever. Like, I think that, like, I could see some sort of raft creation training montage. I don't know, something weird like that going on. But yeah, that's a good point, is that, like, I can't imagine how this would be danced to, if that makes sense. So I don't know. it's hard because I'm like, okay, well, if we don't have moving the plot along, we could have visual spectacular. But I also, like, this is not like Be Our Guest, you know what I mean? We're not doing like the can, like none of that is happening. So I don't know. It's not a bad song. It's still a bop. I really like Hermes' lyrics, surprisingly. Like, you know, some people think that I hate everything that doesn't rhyme. That's not true. I like Hermes' lyric for Hermes and stuff. So yeah, but I think that, like, these two songs need thesis. We need to inject the thesis. What is happening? Who is using my YouTube account, if not me? Is it not me who's using my own YouTube account? What is going on? Sorry guys, hold on. That was hype. Whatever just happened here. I think stage play-wise, the songs are good for the Odysseus singer since he can take a break. That's true. Like, that is true. But, I mean, I don't know. It's always interesting when shows do that, right? Like, you're the old man in a musical that nobody cares about, and you're having a song. Like, there must be a better way is basically what I'm saying. Like, if the goal is to get Odysseus off the stage, or, like, to have another character take over, like, there must be a better way, than, like, sorry for not loving you. What was I saying? Yeah, like, you know, like, Sentimental Man and Wicked, or, like, there are other songs in Wicked. There are other songs in Wicked that are like, oh, the leads are clearly changing backstage and no one actually gives a fuck about this song. But yeah, so we'll keep thinking about it. Everyone cares about Hermes. I don't know. I just see, like, because they're back to back and people know that they won't be missing anything, I think that people would pee, right? So what I'm suggesting is that Hermes needs to give us some sort of, like, revelation-worthy information in that song, or Odysseus needs to have one. So it's like, you cannot get up and go to the bathroom because you do not know what is coming. Like, there's something that's gonna be unexpected. Like, you know, every song on some level needs an unexpected thing, and it doesn't need to be, like, earth-shattering. He gives him the wind back. I don't know, guys. I don't think that that's enough. Right? This is where I didn't see things coming, if that makes sense. Like, when we got to the monster, that was when I was like, I'm seated. But everything else is like, you know, we say in all of our videos, like, surprising yet inevitable. I think that the surprising yet inevitable thing needs to happen here, where we need more surprising, because all I see is inevitable, and if I see something as inevitable, then I'm checked out because I know what's gonna happen. Right? So I think that, like, here is when I checked in, because I was like, I have no idea what's going on anymore. Like, I have no idea. I didn't think that this monster was even gonna be here. So this is good, right? I like the piano, too. Oh, that was nice. Storm leitmotif.
You must be who Hermes mentioned. A monster here to block my way. I'd like to hurry up and end this. So if you don't have much to say,
that's a hilarious lyric.
Oh, bring it on. I'm not dying here. I'm still fighting here. I'm holding on till I see it through, till I've beaten you.
That's really nice. I love all of the music. I love all of the music in here. But yeah, I think it's like, hold on. Then, oh, bring it on. I think that's still Storm. Not that one. But I think that is sharing a leitmotif with something. Am I crazy? Oh, bring it on. Oh. It's hard for me to understand what the pitch is sometimes because, like, obviously they are, like, you know, tenor, baritone, male voices. And so I have trouble kind of matching, like, the motifs with each other, but I think that it's Storm at least. This could also be a new melody that exists, right?
I already know your tactics. When you swallow, you attack with whirlpools that attract prey. But I see a disadvantage, cause I don't even have to kill you. I just have to avoid you. See if you don't spit it out soon, all that water will destroy you. Oh, bring it on till you're out of breath, till there's nothing left.
That was good.
Holding on till I'm in the clear, till I'm out of here. Oh.
Yeah, that is clearly Storm, right? I love the music here. Oh my god. Hold on. Let me think about this. I think that this is like... So, there is a motif that people have in the Epic Discord server that they have identified as like Odysseus being smart motif, right? And so it's like, you know, in moments where like Odysseus, let me try to think of one. Like when he's singing to Circe and one wrong move and you're done for, or whatever. Like he's, I must be a god like you, cause I pulled this root, or whatever it is, like, you know what I mean? Like, I already know your tactics, it kind of sounds like the scanning for information sirens know about every route in Horizon, now I know how to get back to my island. It's like, whatever that is, you know what I mean? Being smart, that's kind of, I don't know, it's like Odysseus's cunning motif, and he has these throughout the show, right? I think that maybe another one is when he's with the Cyclops and he's singing about like that he put the lotus in his wine. Oh god, of course my brain is broken. We gotta stab him in the eye. That's all I can remember. Oh man, do you guys know what I mean? So yeah, like with the lotus thing. So I don't know if I already know your tactic sounds different. I think, could it be in triplets? Is that why? The Odysseus cunning motif is ascending the scale at the start of that. Oh, okay, good, good. Thank you, Saturn. Yes, I'm sure the Discord server will figure it out too for me. For some reason, I love that, till you're out of breath, till there's nothing left. Like, I don't know, it's so satisfying, I have no clue why.
Even have to kill you. I already know your tactics. When you swallow, you attack with whirlpools that attract prey. But I see a disadvantage, cause I don't even have to kill you. I just have to avoid you. See if you don't spit it out soon, all that water will destroy you.
Yeah, see, so that, I think that this is slightly different. I don't know, it's interesting, because I feel like it's reminiscent of the other times that we've heard, like, sirens know about every route in Horizon, like, or whatever, but it doesn't sound exactly the same. I don't know if it's, again, I don't know if that's, because maybe it is in triplets and I'm crazy, but it doesn't sound exactly the same. I would have to investigate. I would have to go back and listen to all of them because they're all like a little different, but they're all kind of similar, you know what I mean? And like the lotus in his wine and like all of that stuff. But yeah, I love that. Yeah, the build up and release is very similar. But yeah, there's something about it. But I'm glad that you guys said that the cunning lit motif is right before it. I already know your tactics. When you swallow, you attack with. I like the attack with. I like the attract and attack. That was pretty smart, like as a kind of internal thing. But I see a disadvantage because I don't even have to kill you. I just have to avoid you. Soon, okay, I think soon and oh my god, soon and you is the slam rhyme. All that water will destroy you. Spit it out soon. All that water will destroy you. Have to kill you, kill, will. Oh yeah, so kill and will is the other slant rhyme. If you guys, or slant rhyme, true rhyme, but like it's like in the middle. I always love when Odysseus does a little middle rhyming. You know what I mean? Are you going to watch the live stream animatics? So I did talk about that earlier, but in case, you know, anybody's joining in the stream now, I want to do it when Ithaca comes out. So I want to, like, watch all of them. You know what I mean? I think that that would be a nice fitting way to end things, because I haven't seen any of them. And I was thinking, like, oh, do I want to, like, bring in a friend and, like, we can both react for the first time, like, me as a fan of Epic and then them as, like, not hearing the songs before? Oh my gosh, excuse me, hold on. So yeah, I kind of want to do it that way. I think that'll be nice, like, to watch all the animatics together for the first time, like, when it's all over, you know? Yeah, it's the suffering wordplay, or, like, sort of, like, the twisty internal rhyme situation, and so I like that.
Bring it on till you're out of breath, till there's nothing left. I'm holding on till I'm in the clear, till I'm out of here. There, I see it.
See, I really like this Just a Man Telemachus Lullaby acoustic guitar situation here.
I've reached it. My wife and son are past these shores. Holding on.
And the violin coming in, or the viola.
Love, don't be scared. Hold on. I am on my way. I'll be there today.
That's so good. And you can hear the Penelope leitmotifs coming in, I think. Oh my god.
What?
That was so good.
No!
Yeah, I know. I'm a sucker for when Odysseus has the little acoustic guitar. I think that, like, going back, if we look back at the whole show now, I think that, like, the ruthlessness and mercy thing definitely applies. I think that when Odysseus is being, like, merciful or, like, kind or whatever, I think that that is definitely, oh my god, hello? I think that, sorry, my brain just stopped. I think that that is definitely would track. You know what I mean? I think the electric guitar is when he's, like, being ruthless, and the acoustic is when he is being, gentle. Okay, so in terms of this one, I think that this song is good for the show. In terms of listening to it outside of the show, I feel like that it's kind of like Storm, where I think some people rank Storm a little low just because it's like nothing necessarily, things happen in Storm. I shouldn't say nothing happens in Storm, but, like, I feel like it's sort of a similar situation. I do like it though. I just think that the thing is with Scylla, she talked back. Right? And so that was the really interesting part of that song, is that you got to see the inner psyche of Odysseus and, like, the rest of the crew, but also Scylla as a monster. I think what stops this, to me, I guess, from being, like, I predict that I won't replay this as much, is that the monster doesn't talk. It's just Odysseus singing, and this actually gives us, like, important information. Like, this is important for the plot, but I don't know how much replayability it has outside of, like, the story circumstance. You know what I mean? Like, if I was listening to the whole album, I would, like, listen to all of it, if that makes sense. Like, I would listen to all of it in sequential order, but usually, like, when I listen to Epic, I listen in isolation to Warrior of the Mind, My Goodbye, There Are Other Ways, Scylla, Thunderbringer, God Games. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, like, those are the ones that mostly, like, I listen to out of their pulled context. I don't really listen to any of the Poseidon songs, to be honest. All of the ones with, oh my god, all the ones with Athena I listen to, regularly. And so I think that, like, that's fine, because not every song needs to be, like, this viral eye candy, but for music, like, this sort of, like, oh, every song needs to be, like, replayable outside of its context. But yes, thank you for staying, so long, by the way, offline. I hope that you will, watch the rest of the, stream, when it is archived and that. I'm glad that you enjoyed and everything, and I'm, thank you guys all for being here. I can't believe there are 100 people listening to me talk, oh my god. But yeah, I think that that's a thing, but it's not a bad thing. Does that make sense? Like, there are just some songs where I'm like, I would never listen to this outside of the show, but that's okay. Like, it's okay that it's not. I just feel like that's the difference between this and Scylla. It's like Scylla had, like, Scylla the monster was very, like, alluring, if that makes sense. Very, appealing. Maybe I'm just gay. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, oh yes, Cal loves all the songs with the women in it. How interesting. All of the songs Cal said are duet with women. She didn't say a single Odysseus solo song. How suspicious. Yeah, is this a good time to, I don't know, to say that I only listen to the epic because of Athena? I'm just kidding. That's not true. Don't quote me on that. Okay, I was just joking. I was just having a little tee-hee, okay? But yeah, I like this song. I like the instrumentation better in this song. I think that, like, I do need to listen to it more. Maybe. You guys are saying the monster can't talk. I mean, the monster has water in its mouth. I wish it had multiple mouths, maybe, but I guess that defeats the purpose of, like, the whirlpool. It could be, like, telepathy. We could give the monster telepathic powers. I don't know. I don't think that, like, I have a suggestion to, like, improve this, because I think it fulfills its purpose in terms of what it's supposed to be, like, a battle song. I just think that, like, it's different than Scylla, because Scylla had a lot of, like, internal angst, if that makes sense, and then also with actually learning about Scylla as a monster. This is just something that's, like, in Odysseus's way, and I feel like also, I guess I should specify, that is not, like, hold on, let me think about how I'm gonna say this. Jorge already had a challenge to begin with, because the Odyssey is like, we went here and thing happened. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the Odyssey doesn't have a plot, but, like, it is like that. You know what I mean? It is kind of like almost Monster of the Week, but in written form, where it's like, and we saw Scylla, and then we saw this monster, and so, like, I think that, like, already, with the entire, like, adapting anything to have a conflict, and, like, obviously, I think that they did a good job in making Poseidon kind of the main villain of the show, because you have that connection with the Cyclops and Poseidon, but I wouldn't say that, like, the Odyssey, as it's written, has, like, a main villain. Does that make sense? Things happen to Odysseus, but it's not, like, a villain-hero relationship, right? Whereas, yeah, I like, not even plot holes, but, like, yeah, like, the Odyssey is like, and we did this thing, and then we did that thing, and, like, that's kind of how it's structured, right? So I think that, like, what Jay is very good at is creating a conflict with, like, really, like, things had no bones. You know what I mean? Like, Scylla, there was nothing, or there was no meat, I should say. Scylla had no meat, he manifested the meat, right? And that was really interesting. But, like, this is, like, one of those things that, this is one of the monsters that it's just like, this happened in the Odyssey, so we need to make sure we show that it happened. I mean, I think what's interesting is, I guess, what Odysseus is singing about. I think the other problem is that now that Odysseus is all alone on stage, we have problems, because having a character talk to themselves this much is kind of hard. It's very difficult. It's very difficult, because then it's like, well, where's the if every scene is an argument and every scene is the conflict, there's, like, a physical conflict, but there's not necessarily, like, a musical conflict. I don't know, though. Like, I don't really know how I would handle that in terms of this song. Outside of, like, Odysseus hearing voices or something. Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Her speaking would go against her lore. I just bring Scylla back. Didn't Scylla talk to us telepathically? No, but you guys are saying that she, that the monster cannot, like, communicate at all. It's kind of just a monster, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I literally, my head's empty. I don't exactly, like, I try to give, like, solutions, right? Like, when I criticize stuff in Warrior of the Mind, I gave, like, a very definitive lyric change of what I would change the lyrics to. When we talked about stuff in the Wisdom Saga, I gave alternative solutions. When we talked about the last two songs, I had alternative solutions. I don't really have a solution for this, because, like, this is, like, a physical fight, but in a musical, and there's no one else here. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good. I I just wonder, I don't know. I fuck with the idea of Odysseus, like, seeing ghosts, like hallucinating or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like Odysseus should hallucinate. That's like I don't know. I wouldn't say that that's a hot take, but like, that's like my weird little, like, what if Odysseus, like, saw his crew, even if they weren't there? And so then when they actually empower him, he's surprised because he thinks he's just hearing voices and seeing things. I don't know. I think that that would be interesting, though, because he was on an island all alone with Calypso for 7 years. I feel like that he would start to hallucinate. So maybe that's what Odysseus needs to do, is hallucinate. I don't know. But yeah, I like this song. I think that this was very nicely composed musically. I still like it. It's one of the ones where I'm like, I'm not gonna pull this up outside of the show. Doesn't he already hallucinate? I guess. But why did that stop then? I thought he was having a nightmare. I thought that was more of a nightmare. Like, I thought that was a night terror. Does that make sense? I thought he was sleepwalking. I could use him hallucinating when he's lucid. Like, when he's awake. But yeah, I thought that because she said come back to bed. So I thought that he was sleepwalking. Yeah, I think he did sleepwalk to the cliff. No, I'm serious. I have insomnia and I sleepwalk. Not that I've ever gone that far, but like I could if the doors weren't locked. I like literally talk in my sleep. Like I sing in my sleep. I am like, you could have a full conversation with me when I'm sleeping. But yeah, I agree that it was the PTSD, but my interpretation was that the PTSD gave him a nightmare and so he was sleepwalking. Like, I thought it was kind of like an Aurora Sleeping Beauty, like, you know, pricking the finger on the spindle sort of situation. Why would she talk with him? I mean, why do you think he's hallucinating? I didn't say that. I said I wish he was in this song. I don't think that he was in Love in Paradise, though. I think he was having a bad dream. I think that she talked to him because he's still, like, you're still lucid when you're sleep talking. You still can answer. And if you try to, like, yank someone back to bed, like, you can cause problems. So I think that would be my explanation why. I don't think that you're supposed to do that, like, when people are, like, sleepwalking or whatever. I don't think that you're supposed to, like, touch them like that. I think that you're supposed to, like, kind of go along with the dream and, like, try to gently guide them back to bed. But anyway, I'm not a doctor. Don't quote me on that. I sleepwalk, so... Anyway, let's get into this one. This is so Kingdom Hearts coded to me. Oh, I love how dramatic this is too, with like the organ or whatever.
There you are, coward.
There was no longer you in there, for sure. Am I crazy? Hold on a second. Yeah! Was that not the piano? Isn't that like No Longer You? Am I crazy?
There you are.
I don't know, it reminds me of No Longer You a little. Like scary underworld piano because he's coming to die.
I've been waiting for this moment, for the perfect time to strike.
Can someone explain to me? I can't really articulate what this is, but like, do you guys hear that sort of like wobbly instrument? Like that kind of sounds artificial. Do you guys know what that is? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. It's the one that like, it sounds like it's vibrating. It sounds like when your remote control, like in a video game, vibrates. Like, what is that noise? The sort of turntable DJ thing.
For the perfect
like right there.
I've been waiting for this moment, for the perfect time.
That's what it was.
I've been
Yeah, what is it? Do you guys hear it? I tried to move my hand when it was happening. What is it? Does anybody know? I don't know what it is. I don't know if I like it or not. I haven't decided. That's why I'm asking. I'm like, do I like this instrument? Because that was pretty prominent. It's a movable filter. Okay, interesting. Like Splatoon voices? Oh, okay. But yeah, I don't know if I like it or not. I'm still deciding.
Waiting for this moment, for the perfect time to strike. When you're home so close and you've reached your
Coast and close is crazy.
That's when our paths collide. I've got a reputation. I've got a name to uphold, so I can't go letting you walk, or else the world forgets I'm cold.
So that line, like, so I can't go letting you walk or else the world forgets I'm cold. I'm pretty sure that's the same as Poseidon, we meant no harm, we only meant it to disarm him. Like, I think it's like that thing, like, I think the world forgets I'm cold. There's definitely the ruthlessness motif in there, already. But yeah, I think that's, I like this. I like Poseidon coming back. I think that this is, very dramatic. I like when you're home so close and you've reached your coast. That was hilarious. Thank you, Sandy, though, for staying so long. I hope that you will watch the VOD when everything is up. I think that 600 is the one we're gonna have probably the most to say. But I like this. I like that Poseidon is establishing that this is basically all about pride. That it's like, if he lets Odysseus go after, like, seriously maiming his son, it's about pride, it's about reputation, it's like he can't let that stand. I think that's very interesting characterization for Poseidon. I mean, all the gods are like that, right? But it's interesting because, like, Zeus relented to Athena, you could say, right? You know, Zeus kind of swallowed his pride after, like, killing her, or whatever, after almost killing her, but Poseidon still hasn't yet, and so I think that's really interesting. And, like, how far the gods are willing to go to protect their own dignity. You know, because if Odysseus comes back and he's like, oh yeah, I bested Poseidon, I did this, I did that, like, that's not good optics for him. Especially because Ithaca is on the coast, so I'm assuming they would probably worship Poseidon in some capacity, and so you don't want, you know, the people of Ithaca to think Poseidon's getting soft out here, I guess, right?
Now get in the water.
Ah. I love that.
Get in the water.
That's such a Jaws thing to happen.
Or I'll raise the tide so high, all of Ithaca will die.
That was
Get in the
crazy.
water. Wait. Get in the water. Stop this, please. I'll make
I think that
wave so.
I think that is the captain thing, but I think it's specifically the captain motif from the underworld, which is interesting. I feel like you're not ready for what's about to happen. Don't worry, I've listened to all the songs already. Now we're combing through them. So if you missed my reaction, you'll have to go back to the beginning of the stream. I think after we're done, I don't know if you guys can do that in real time, but...
Profound. Both your wife and your son will drown. No!
I don't know how I feel about profound. I need a source on that. Can you use profound to describe a physical object? The state, quality, or emotion, very great or intense. Okay. 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 Fine. I guess I'll allow it. I was thinking... Anyway. I guess it's okay. Never mind. I thought that profound was more about, like, feelings. I guess you could make a great or intense wave. Because, like, okay, it says of a state, quality, or emotion. You know what I mean? I wouldn't exactly say that a wave is a state or a like, you know what I mean? I guess it's the quality of the wave. Anyway, whatever. I guess it's fine. And that just striked me as kind of, like, weird at first. Like, you know what I mean? It kind of, like, distracted me because I was like, It's kind of like when... This is another example of this, but when, Hephaestus is like, he sacrificed his own cohort, I kind of felt like that was a little bit forced. You know what I mean? Because obviously it's supposed to rhyme with support, but I feel like cohort is such a strange word in this context, because it's like, it's not his cohort. They're not in school, like, it's his crew, you know what I mean? So when he said profound, I was like, okay, you know, but I get fine. I think profound is better than the cohort and support situation, at least. Liquid is a state of matter. I mean, yeah, but I think that they meant emotional state. You guys are so funny. When people come into the stream and they're like, why are you shouting? I'm like, what part of the Calxiyn cares too much? Like, you know what I mean? What part of Calxiyn cares too much did we not understand? That's the other thing. I'm like, I don't think that I'm yelling. I don't think that I'm shouting. Somebody was like, Cal, I want to listen to the video, but I feel like you're shouting at me, like on Ursula. And that was like when I was making a concerted effort to try to be more like, not quiet, but I was trying to talk at a more pleasant volume. And like somebody still thought I was yelling. I think we have to establish the difference between shouting, yelling, and then just talking with gusto. Because I'm not shouting.
Get in the water!
She's so profound right now.
Get in the water!
Oh, man.
Don't mistake my threat for bluff. You have lived more than enough. Get in the water!
That is a banger line. I really like that one. I think that that's crazy. Because, like, yeah, Odysseus should have died by now. Like, really? Yeah, he should have died. I think that that's a great lyric. I don't know if I... Yeah, I'll allow it. I will allow, don't mistake my threats for bluff. You know what I mean? Because, like, usually we would say, like, bluff it. Like, you know what I mean? But, like, I will allow it. I just saw this live and wanted to see the reactions. Don't worry, the reactions are at the beginning of the stream, but we are doing, like, the analysis portion now. But if you want, you can also wait till the stream is over and it will be, easier to find where the reactions are. But yeah, I think that that was a really good line, at least. I will allow for bluff.
Get in the water!
What is the... Ooh. I like the little string instrument. What is that? The little harp or something? What is that?
Enough. Get in the water!
Ooh.
Get in the water!
I like that. Sounds...
Get in the water! Don't mistake my threat for bluff. You have lived more than enough. Get in the water!
I'm like, have we heard that instrument with Poseidon before? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's the one that, it sounds like a string. I can't be entirely sure what it is. I don't think it's a harp, though. I think a harp would be a bit too floaty. This sounds very, like, plucked, if that makes sense. Maybe it's a harpsichord, but it doesn't sound like that either. It sounds like a lyre or something like that. Like, it sounds like kind of in the realm of that, like, instruments. I like it, though. I don't know what it's doing. Like, I don't know exactly what it's doing, but I really like it.
Get in the water! I'll take your son and gouge his eyes. That is unless you choose to die. Get in the water!
Aren't you tired, Poseidon? It's been 10 years. How long will this go? We're both hurting from
Okay, so interesting that the lyre is happening, or whatever, the string instrument is also happening under Odysseus. So I think if I had to guess, it's probably, like, it's probably supposed to be sort of the lullaby thing again, right? And it does happen when Poseidon is talking about the sun, right? Like, killing the family. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like just a man motif and it's on the string instrument and it's just happening very slowly, but I don't know. It just reminds me of Just a Man anyway. It may not be exactly the same.
So why not leave this here and just go home?
I can't.
Damn.
Maybe you could learn to forgive.
No.
So this is crazy, right? Because there's a couple of things, like, right? like, the idea of, like, why not leave this here and just go home? Like, this is exactly kind of like what Eurylochus was like in, like, Mutiny and everything. And so that's really crazy. Like, that's nuts that now it's Odysseus is on the other foot, and Odysseus is like, do you really need the vengeance, though? But now Poseidon says he can't, right? I think that that's crazy, and it does showcase how Odysseus has learned the lesson, right? Like, he is trying to operate in, again, we always talk about Aristotle's golden ratio, like the, golden mean thing, like that Greek philosophy, you either, like, lived in excess or you had deficiency, and if you could achieve, like, the middle road, you were a good person. So, like, if you're a coward, you have a deficiency of bravery, but if you're too brave, you're reckless and you're stupid. So, like, you're in the middle. So I think that, like, so this is good, right? This is really good that now we have Odysseus, like, learning the lesson, because at this point we're at, like, the end of the show. You know what I mean? Like, at this point we're at the end of the show, so Odysseus needs to learn the lesson. I think that the problem is that the other two songs in this saga do not properly, lay the foundation for the fact that Odysseus has learned the lesson, because the whole thing is that he was too kind to the Cyclops, right? And then going, like, fast forward to Thunderbringer and stuff, he was too ruthless to the Sirens. Like, it was beyond justification, right? So, I think the problem is that it would have been a good time to somehow showcase in the Calypso section that Odysseus had learned his lesson of, like, finally operating in between the two extremes, but, like, we kind of skipped to the lesson without how Odysseus finally figured it out. I guess you could say it's because of Circe, but the problem is that the Circe saga comes before Thunderbringer. So, that's confusing. You know what I mean? Because after Circe, like, you would think that he would stop choosing extremes, but then he goes back to the extremes, and so that's not, you know? Are the string instruments playing Odysseus' theme from the beginning of The Horse and the Infant? Maybe. I can't immediately decipher what they are. They sound familiar, but they could just... There's only so many notes that exist, you know what I mean? I think sometimes we gaslight ourselves and we're like, there's a leitmotif here, and, like, it's just not. But I think it's supposed to be reminiscent of, like, Just a Man and the Lullaby and sort of, like, those sorts of things. Like, I think it's supposed to showcase, like, this is Odysseus being kind. Like, when it's a more, like, this isn't the acoustic guitar, but it's a bit more of a gentle thing.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
This is so good.
Die!
Yeah, this is so epic. The instrumentation is so good. And I love, like, going under the water. I think that that was really cool. So I'm again assuming what happened here was that this is Odysseus being close to death but refusing to die.
Look at all we've lost and all we've learned.
And I like this.
Whoa, Odysseus,
I think that was really nice. I think that this is definitely, like, one of the best songs. If I was ranking them, I think that they do go in the order that they are. Like, I think it's 600 Strike, then Get in the Water, then this one, you know, and so on and so forth. And Ruthlessness, Poseidon says, die quietly. Yeah, that's right. That is true. And then this time Poseidon screams and Odysseus is pretty much silent. It was a good change to make. I think that this is interesting. You guys are saying the animatic showing the souls pull him in the water. Yeah, I think that that's interesting. I think it's supernatural and Odysseus refusing to die. Like, I think it's both, if that makes sense. I think that it's sort of like the veil between life and death Like, this is just my opinion, obviously, but, like, I think that when people, I say people as if this is real, but just walk with me, okay? Like, when people are close to dying, the veil between the worlds kind of becomes, more transparent, I guess. And so I think that, like, it is Odysseus refusing to die, but then it is also, in turn, like, supernatural. I think because he's dying, the veil is a bit more thin, right? But the reason why he gets back up ultimately is from, like, refusing to die. I did not watch the animatic stream. I did mention this earlier, but I want to watch all of the animatics, like, when the Ithaca Saga comes out, and we can watch, like, all of them in, like, a big movie, basically, like a movie, and I think that that'll be fun. But yeah, I really like that song. I think that it was a good, I say reintroduction, but that's not, like, the right word. Like, just seeing Poseidon again, and being reintroduced to his motivation, and why after all this time, like, literally 10 years later, like, why he is still after us. Like, why he's still after Odysseus. I think that I really like their back and forth. I really like Odysseus trying to appeal to him, right? Because that's, like, this whole show is about that, right? Like, the cycle, you know? Like, the cycle of the ruthlessness and the mercy, and, like, operating at those extremes, and then finally learning, like, the middle road. It's like Odysseus has learned that, but Poseidon hasn't. Yeah, that's interesting. So chat is saying Odysseus takes his final breath here and is no longer Odysseus. I think that that happened more further back, personally. Like, that's a valid interpretation. I think that Odysseus stopped being Odysseus when he went to the underworld, but you could also see, like, it happening here as well. So, okay. So, you guys, I need to run to the bathroom really quickly. I know that this is bad timing. Oh, man, this is bad timing, but I want to make sure that I give this my full attention, and I can't give this my full attention if I'm rushing through it, because I'm like, oh my god, the stream, it's almost over, we can do it, we can make it. We cannot make it, so I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Tell me what your favorite song is, question mark. Alright, everybody. No one answered my question. I don't think. Maybe, actually, no, some of you did. Some of you did, sorry. The chat just kept moving, beyond my, initial question, so I was like, nobody answered me. Sad. No, I see it now. Someone said with great confidence that their song is the new monster one, which is very interesting. Okay. I'm back. Okay. Someone said their favorite song is Thunderbringer. Scylla. Yeah, Thunderbringer's a really good one. I really like it. You guys are saying that Odysseus' eyes glow red in the animatic, and so there's a theory that it's a blessing from Ares. Maybe, because, you know, Ares does say, hey, stop being a little bitch and fight, right? He does say that, like, he didn't even try to kill him, right? Like, or whatever. I think he was talking about the Cyclops. Why are you calling him the monster? Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name. The monster's name. I need help. I need someone to spell it phonetic. I've never heard anybody say it before. The only reason I knew how to say Scylla's name is because she's in Hades. She's in Hades too. But yeah, the Charybdis. I don't think Y is how you would say that. That doesn't sound right. Okay. So now, guys, let us continue. He didn't even try to kill her. Oh my god. But yeah, I think you guys made me lose my train of thought. Bad. But yeah, I think that Ares is finally impressed that he's fighting. Charybdis. Okay, that's interesting. I would have not guessed in a million years that that's what it was. Okay, we have danger motif. Nice. What is that high-pitched oohing? I guess it's just the spirits, right? There's an interesting little call and I'm like, what is happening? Okay, so we have Captain. Thank you, Arnold. How did Arnold know? You know why? Because it's probably a fucking character in Genshin Impact. They probably mentioned Charybdis in Genshin Impact. It's the wind motif. Oh, the ooh is the wind motif. So we have the wind motif. We have keep your friends close, and we have the danger motif. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, I do not listen to keep your friends close enough to have known it. But okay, so we have danger motif, and then we switch to the wind motif. Thank you, chat. Yeah, that was the keep your friends closer thing. I heard it that time. Okay, good. To explain the windbag musically. Oh, I see. Fort Charybdis and Fontaine. Yeah, I knew it. I know what you are. It's so funny. So I used Genshin music for my last 2 videos because I thought it would be fun. And, like, I've gotten some funny comments about it. It's really cute. Those of you that play Genshin. Because I mentioned Albedo in another video completely unprompted, and people were like, what? So now I use the music to try to lure out the Genshin Impact players and see if anyone noticed, and a couple people noticed. Oh, man. Okay, so I know that you guys said that he used the windbag like a jetpack. I like to believe that instead, all 600 men, like, globbed together like one of the Heartless in Kingdom Hearts 3, like the Demon Tide, and just all, like, manifested together and lifted Odysseus into the sky. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? The Demon Tide from KH3, how it's all shadows and they're this giant tornado. That is how I imagine this happened. I understand the windbag jetpack, but I imagine that all 600 men just accumulated spiritually and lifted him up. That's my personal interpretation.
I don't think you seem to get it. I can't afford to die and I will get back to my way!
That was nice. I feel like that this, though, is... Am I crazy? Hold on. Is this not the suitor leitmotif? I don't think you seem to get it. I can't... No, wait a minute. Bone to pick when you and I are through. No, this is... Wait, hold on. This is, I think that this is Little Wolf, actually. No, I'm a liar. That's not it. I don't think it's the suitor motif. I think the suitor motif also overlaps with the Little Wolf one. I think that this is... I've known my share of bullies. What is the line? The Athena line. Those who impose their will. I've seen plenty enough to truly understand this kind of filth. I think that that's what's happening. Think you seem to get it. That may be wrong. Hold on. Am I crazy?
Get it? I can't afford to die.
No, the intervals aren't the same. But it's hard for me to tell because obviously, like, they could have modified...
I don't think you seem to get it.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Because I think that, like, the issue with this is that it's not perfect. So I'm like, for some reason, it just reminds me, maybe it's just very similar in terms of, like, the vibes. But yeah, I don't think you seem to get it. It sounds like a modified Athena thing. Like, it's not exactly the same by any means, but I'm like, I've no respect for bullies. I don't think you seem to get it. Well, the problem is that Athena starts with I've, right? I've no respect for bullies. Maybe it's just the same syllable count, and so that's why I'm going crazy. Like, maybe it's just the same beats. Full speed ahead motif. I don't think you seem to get it. Oh, I'm trying to think of where... Maybe it's a survive theme? Oh no, we're all confused. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I've no respect for bullies. Those who impose their will. But it's different, right?
I don't think you seem to get it. I can't afford to die, cause I will get back to my son. And I will get back to my way!
Yeah, because I hear full speed ahead some. I don't think you seem to get it. Watch where the birds fly. I don't know. I don't hear the full speed ahead. Am I crazy? I don't hear the full speed ahead. I need to look. I can't do it. Why am I so bad at remembering the lyrics today? I feel like my brain is broken. Let's look. Let's go. And Ithaca's waiting. Oh, maybe that's why Penelope's waiting for me. My king in Ithaca's waiting. I can... Oh, 600 lives at stake.
I don't think you seem to get it.
600 lives at stake.
I can't afford to die.
Guys, this is so, like, it's so hard. It's so hard because there are so many leitmotifs in this show that I'm like, because I'm hearing the no respect for bullies, those who impose their will. And I was also hearing the hold 'em down motif that happens in a song that we haven't gotten yet. I think there's a lot going on here. I think they're, like, kind of mixed together, or, like, maybe it's just a coincidence. Because it would make sense, like, Odysseus is standing up to a bully, right? And if he's being empowered by Ares, Ares and Athena share the same leitmotif. So, I don't know.
I will get back to my son, and I will get back to my way!
Because I hear storm, that's clear.
Forever.
Because 600 men is from full speed ahead, right?
I don't think you seem to get it.
Yeah, I hear I've no respect for bullies, right?
I can't afford to die.
those who impose their will.
I will get back to my son, and I will get back to my wife!
Oh, I love the guitar. Nice trumpets too for Poseidon. Yeah, okay, so this is full speed ahead. I know this one.
Almost all of whom were slaughtered by your hand.
I like how he says almost, by the way. Like, almost all of them. Almost. We lost a I'll take responsibility for some of them, but almost all of them was terrible. That's a funny lyric. I mean, I guess you could say that post-Cyclops, everything is kind of Poseidon's fault. Like, they would have never died in Thunderbringer if Poseidon wasn't there, but it's just so funny. It's so fun. Almost all of them. Oh, God. Okay, anyway, sorry.
600 strike!
600 strike reminded me of like the die, die, die. 600 lives to take. I like this though. I really like that. I imagine them like as some sort of tornado, or like the spirits of the men are like throwing harpoons or something. Like I know that obviously the visuals of this scene are kind of concrete in terms of the animatic, but in my head I'm seeing them as, again, Kingdom Hearts Demon Tide, or like, and then they all manifest into themselves and they're all throwing these like spiritual harpoons or something. I don't know, I think that it's fun. Maybe inverted luck runs out. Please don't tell me you're about to do what I think you'll do. I don't know. There's a lot going on.
You idiot. Can't you see? You sealed your fate just to beat me. You released my storm.
Okay, that's Storm leitmotif.
That bag blocked your one-way home. Now you'll never get back.
That noise was from Different Beast right there. That's, I think I identify that, right? Yeah, that's definitely the Different Beast, right? So it's to show, you know, Odysseus is different now. He tried to show him mercy, but now, no mercy.
You're going to call off that storm.
Yeah, because it's Poseidon's storm, right, in the bag.
Or what? You can't kill me. Exactly.
I feel like they're also maybe, this isn't explicit. I don't think that this is exactly the no longer you motif, but I think it is supposed to be the no longer you instrumentation, like the underworld instrumentation, to show like this is not the same Odysseus, right? No, I can't kill you, but I can torture you like I did with the sirens, right?
Wait.
Like just that organ sound
Wait.
reminds me of No Longer You more than any other song.
How does it feel to be helpless? How does it feel to know
man, this part
pain?
gives me chills,
I
man.
watched my friends die in horror, crying as they were all slain. I heard their final moments, calling their captain in vain. Look what you turned me into. Look what we've become.
Enough.
All of the pain that I've been through. Haven't I suffered enough? You didn't stop when I begged you. Told me to close
Guys,
my
this is
heart.
crazy.
You said the world was dark. Didn't you say that ruthlessness is mercy upon our
All right.
Oh, man. That's just, it's so crazy. And I feel like that there's so much in there. There's just so, oh my God, hold on.
Exactly.
So that's the trident noise, right? I understand that.
Wait. Wait. Ah!
How does it feel to be helpless? How does it feel to know pain? I watched my friends die in horror,
something, but I don't know what it would be. I don't know if it was just ruthlessness. Like, I don't think that it's that. This sounds like something else. Maybe this is monster adjusted, because I watched, like, all my friends die in horror. Like, it kind of reminds me of that. It kind of reminds me of that part in Monster. I mean, Monster is called back to when Poseidon sings it, but I'm like, is this Monster? Is this when Odysseus, like, I will deal the blow? Is it something like that? I'm going to bed, but I'm going to go way back to when you first reacted. Good night, everyone. Well, thank you, Jolin. I hope that you enjoy it. Yeah, we're basically theorizing at this point. I was so sure about things in Thunderbringer and Wisdom Saga, and then in this stream, I'm like, I literally don't know. I'm like, all right, my brothers, listen closely. Yeah, this may just be, like, Odysseus motif.
Wait. How does it feel to be helpless? How does it feel to know pain? I watch my friends die in horror.
Maybe it's, yeah, it reminds me of, like, I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, and like, it reminds me of that. 100 men gone, this can't go on, I get to see Penelope. Yeah, how does it feel to be helpless? Get to see Penelope. I don't know. Maybe it's just that's the problem with, like, the show having so many leitmotifs. It's like we gaslight ourselves into thinking the leitmotifs are there. I think, if anything, this is what I always say. Maybe it's not exact, but it's supposed to evoke the idea of monster from the underworld, right? And so there are times when the music is very exact, right? Athena leitmotif is very exact. But there are other times where you just want to use a new melody but call back to something that we all understand. So, like, when I listen to this, that's what I think about as monster. It doesn't even need to necessarily be the exact same leitmotif. It's just that, oh my gosh, guys, my pointer is falling. I'm holding so many things in my hands right now. Like, it doesn't need to be exact. It's kind of like Odysseus is like, that we thought, oh, is it like the I've no respect for bullies motif? Or is it supposed to just, like, be reminiscent of Athena, but it's not an exact copy-paste, right? So I think that, like, the things that we have identified in this stream as maybe some things hold similarities with each other, I don't think that a lot of them are exact one for one, but what I do think is that there's still validity in being like, this reminds me of X, right? Like, because I think it is supposed to.
Crying as they were all slain. I heard their final moments, calling their captain in vain. Look what you turned me into. Look what we've become.
So, what is weird is that I thought for some reason, like, my instinct was like, look at what we've became, but that may not be grammatically correct in terms of what I'm suggesting. How does it feel to be helpless? How does it feel to know pain? I watch my friends die in horror, crying as they were all slain. So we have slain, pain, vain. Very good. You know why? It's because become, I think, is supposed to slant rhyme with enough, but I think that because we already have the setup of pain, slain, and vain, we're expecting look at what we have became. Look at what we have became. Yeah, so I think that's interesting, right? Because I have this theory, or I've explained this a couple streams now, that when Epic does rhymes, like a lot of pure, true rhymes, it's supposed to be the person acting in excess, right? So when you have Athena, like, I had a challenge, a test of skill, a magic boar, only the best could kill. Like, when she has that, that's her being kind of, like, cocky, right? And so I would say, if I was, like, being neurotic about, like, how I would interpret this, because, like, there's the obvious, like, simple interpretation that this is just, like, it doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? But in my mind, everything means something. So I think that what it's supposed to show is that, like, when Odysseus is a monster, that tends to be when he rhymes in succession. Like, he rhymes a lot of stuff together. Or, like, in Thunderbringer, the same thing happens with Zeus, right? Like, Thunderbringer through the ringer, show them I'm the judgment call, the one who makes the kingdom fall. Like, you know what I mean? So we have a lot of that. So I guess what I would say in terms of this one, I'm expecting, look at what we have became, or whatever's the grammatically correct version of become. But I think that it's almost, I would say that in terms of my rhyme theory, the reason why it's subverted is because it's supposed to be an interruption of the perfect rhymes, because it's showcasing that Odysseus may be acting like a monster, but he's not doing it because he enjoys to see Poseidon suffering as much as he's doing it because it's what he has to do. Because that was the thing, right? Like, I talked about this in the Thunder Saga stream, but we didn't have to do all that to the sirens. You know what I mean? We didn't have to do all that to the sirens, and so that was Odysseus in excess. But this feels balanced, right? When he said, yeah, exactly, here it's balanced, right? He's ruthless, but he still spares Poseidon in the end. And so that's why I think, like, the become thing, I think, like, is supposed to be probably on purpose, maybe. I think it's because the pain rhyme starts at the second measure, and then the other, yeah, and then they're on their own. You're right, Saturn. Like, it's a trick sort of thing, right? And so I think that it is supposed to almost be intentional. You know, I think that it's, like, the become enough, like, that sort of thing. I think it's to showcase that, like, Odysseus still isn't entirely a monster. Like, this is balanced. The thing is that, like, Jay has never confirmed the rhyme theory. I mean, probably because I'm the only one that has that rhyme theory. I kind of don't want him to confirm it because I want to believe in my heart that it's real, right? And so he'll probably never explain that, but hopefully he will explain, like, the leitmotifs and stuff.
All of the pain that I've been through, haven't I suffered enough? You didn't stop when I begged you, told me to close my heart. You said the world was dark. Didn't you say that ruthlessness is mercy upon our
All right.
Yeah, see, I like this.
Please.
I love that. I love that we're throwing the words back into Poseidon's face now, because, like, this was kind of never true. Like, sometimes ruthlessness is not mercy upon ourselves, like, you know what I mean? So I kind of like, isn't this how you wanted me to be? Isn't this what you wanted? You wanted me to be like this? This is a lesson that you wanted me to take away, right? And so now Poseidon's kind of realizing he fucked up. I think that this is really good for the themes of the show, because this is what I've been trying to, like, get to in terms of my analysis, is the idea that Odysseus needs to operate in balance. And this is, like, one of the, he does with Circe too, but, like, this is, like, the most concrete example of when he operated in, like, a perfect balance. You know what I mean? And, like, he still doesn't keep torturing Poseidon after Poseidon asks, like, hey, stop, you know, enough, I'll let you go, right? So I think that's really good. I do think that this is so concrete, like, to the thesis of the show, though, that it makes me want to go back and revise certain things even more, because, like, for example, I don't know if all of you have watched my Warrior of the Mind analysis, but I would recommend it because it's a good video, and I feel like it should have gotten more traction than it did, so I'm a little sad. I changed the title recently, and I'm trying to see if that helps, but anyway, in that video, I said that at the end, I wish that Athena had said something different, like, compared to Odysseus being special. I think what I had suggested was, like, light up the world and your own blaze will turn you blind. There is wisdom in distincting being good from being kind. You are a warrior of the mind, don't disappoint me. Like, just making sure that every song, or at least the songs that should, like, contribute to the thesis of the show, because that's my, like, beef with Warrior of the Mind, is that Warrior of the Mind is just like, Odysseus, remember that you're special, when, like, they should have established that Athena's beef, her perceived beef, was Odysseus becoming too merciful, right? And so, anyway, so now, like, because this is so strong, I almost want to go back and, like, look at every song in the show and be like, okay, this is how we should make the theme flourish a bit more. Because that sort of lyric change for Athena would clearly define her problem and what she thinks, like, that Polites is leading Odysseus astray about, right? And then that would make it more satisfying when here we see Odysseus come full circle. Because I think the theme is really strong here, but I almost think that the theme, like, developed as the songs kept getting written, and that maybe Jay only realized that, like, when Poseidon happened, like the ruthlessness thing happened, but I think that going back to the songs in the previous sagas and have that more clearly defined with like Athena and everything like that would really help.
After everything you've done, how will you sleep at night?
This is hilarious, by the way.
Next to my wife.
Because, okay, so we have multiple of these, right? I can't remember all of them, but, like, Odysseus says, like, what good is something if I can't sleep at night to Athena? What does he say? What good is like, what's a title that a goddess could lend me? Yeah, if I'll never sleep at night. And then he can't sleep at night. Like, that's the whole thing, right? Like, Odysseus says he can hardly sleep at night because he's done all this stuff, and then we see that he doesn't sleep at night, like he literally doesn't, anymore. But yeah, that's hilarious that Poseidon says that. Like, how will you sleep at night after everything you done? Like, he already doesn't sleep at night. I'm like, yeah, it's so funny coming from Poseidon. I'm like, who are you to talk, bro? Okay. So now what I think I'm gonna do, just to end off the stream, I'm gonna try to, like, look in the Epic Discord server and see if anyone has said anything. I know that's so vague. Oh, man, I know that's so vague. Oh, somebody pointed out that the Cyclops said, you shall be the final man to die, and, like, Odysseus is the final man to die, but he's not dead. Anyway, I'm gonna look at the leitmotif sheet maybe and see if anyone has updated it. Maybe that would help. Let's look and see if we can, let's look for clues. But yeah, if you guys are interested in the musicality of stuff, I would highly recommend the Epic Discord server because they are like they are on this shit. Okay, so somebody has updated the chart for now. Dangers nearby, leitmotif, 600 strikes, yes. Danger, leitmotif, 4 version, aka banana, I don't know what that means. Chocolate, vanilla, banana, okay, so we have flavored the motifs. This is a chart in the Discord server, okay. Odysseus, melodic leitmotif, Odysseus's cunning happens with the choir. And they have the second markers. Okay, so this only seems to have it for 600 actually, no, the other ones are updated too. Penelope leitmotif happens, and the monster, Charybdis, the name that I forgot how to say. So that's interesting. That's interesting. I love the flavors of the, because one has 13 notes, one has 4, and one has 8. Oh, I see. Okay, that's why. That makes sense. I love that. Isn't the danger leitmotif and get in the water in the other one too? But anyway, maybe this chart is in progress. I love that they're flavored. I think that's hilarious. Monster melodic leitmotif, yes. Storm leitmotif, okay, yeah, all 3 of them have the storm leitmotif. That's what I thought. Hermes leitmotif, maybe. I love how there's maybe in dangers. Okay, the wind leitmotif we have established. Suffering leitmotif, get in the water. Yep, that makes sense. Yearning melodic leitmotif. Wait, what's yearning? Hold on. Vanilla leitmotif is the 13 notes. Like in the first song, banana's the 4, and then the chocolate's the 8th note. Yeah, I love how the explanation says that they're flavored. Hold on. What is yearning? I need to look at what yearning is. I've never heard that one before. Hold on. Oh, yearning to get home, this one.
Almost all of whom were slaughtered by your hand.
Okay, okay, see, I would say, oh, that's full speed ahead, but now I get it. That's like yearning home. Okay. Mystery leitmotif. Number 6. Okay, so there's a mystery leitmotif in Get in the Water. That's interesting. Okay. Where else is the mystery leitmotif? Mutiny has a mystery leitmotif. Underworld has a mystery leitmotif. That's interesting. Survive has mystery mystery. Let me listen to the mystery leitmotif and see if I think that I know what the mystery is. Hold on. I did not hear that. Was it that?
I watched my friends die in horror, crying as they were all slain. I heard their final moments, calling their captain in vain. Look what—
I don't know. I guess I would have to go and listen to more mystery leitmotif to understand what it is. Oh, there is potential name considerations: ruthlessness, enemy, cornered, anxiety, adrenaline rush, big battle, what do you fight for? The what do you live for, what do you fight for? Interesting. Okay. So the Discord server has apparently not found what I had said, which was... What did I say? I said mysterious Athena leitmotif was over here. Right? Hold on.
I can't afford to die, 'cause
yeah,
I will get back to my son, and I will get back to my wife!
Yeah, that's the one where I'm like, mysteries. And then there was something else. Yeah, that was my mysterious Athena, I've no respect for bullies comparison that I'm not sure is correct. Wasn't there another one where I thought, oh, well, I just thought that I heard the underworld everywhere. But that wasn't the underworld leitmotif, that was just the vibes. That was just the vibes of the underworld, if that makes sense. So I think that that's the only thing that I'm confused about. I should have made a list, actually. I should have made a list of, like, everywhere where I heard a leitmotif that I thought was, like, is that correct or no? I think that...
Sick. Break every skill put to use for this. I plan to put an end to all the foolishness. I have to get home, put it all on the line, or be dangerous. Hermes.
This is where I thought, like, was this Athena or am I crazy?
Thank you.
Don't thank me, friend. I'm not the one who fought for you.
Then who?
But that doesn't sound exactly like Athena. That's the problem. Like, Athena's very clear most of the time, and so...
Every trick, every skill put to use for this. I plan to put an end to all...
I guess I'm thinking of the one that happens after Thunderbringer.
Foolishness, I have to get home, put it all on the line, or be dangerous. Hermes.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking of the one that happens, like, with the piano, yeah, in between the Thunderbringer, like, transition to Telemachus.
Thank you.
Don't thank me, friend. I'm not the...
But yeah, that just sounds like dangerous. That just sounds like more dangerous course, but, like, a little funky. I don't think that that is Athena now that I'm listening to it. I'm like, I don't know. Question mark. It doesn't have that same, like, clarity that Athena usually does, but I could see it be, like, that weird mix that happened, like, in the transition. Like, because, like, there was a weird, like, that I had heard, at least, and maybe I was delusional, but in Thunderbringer, like, I had heard, like, one day, da 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 da, just a man. Like, I had heard a bunch of, like, combinations in there. You know? So I feel like that there's something sussy in here. I think, anyway. I think there's something sussy, right? But yeah, do you guys know what I'm talking about when I say the Thunderbringer thing? Like, there was, like, this weird, that one that sounded like My Goodbye, but then it started to go into, Yeah, I think it was My Goodbye. Like, it sounded like one day, right? Like, the one day you will understand sort of thing. Like, one day you'll hear what I'm saying. And, like, that was in there. But then the lullaby started to get mixed in there, too. And then it was like, one day. And, like, I had thought that basically what it was saying was that in Thunderbringer, Odysseus now understands the lesson Athena was telling him. So it's not like the Athena leitmotif as in Athena is present, but, like, it's the idea that, like, he finally learned the lesson that Athena was trying to teach him, but I never got, like, I didn't know if that was correct or not. That was just what I felt in my heart. I think he finds joy in confusing us, probably. I think it's also, like, there's just limited notes, like, in the world, you know? So that's why I'm like, I don't care if I'm wrong, I just like the vibes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if this doesn't mean anything, it means something to me. It's kind of like there's a bit of a disagreement about whether or not the interval that happens in God games, there was a bit of disagreement in my shorts comment section about whether the like the bells that happens, or I guess the hammering that happens underneath, Hephaestus is actually the Penelope leitmotif or not. There's a mild disagreement. I think that the reason why it sounds so, like, weird is because it's not like an instrument, it's a sound effect. And so I stand by that is the Penelope leitmotif in my heart, but, like, I'm also like, but I don't care if I'm wrong. I think that it's neat, you know? Like, that's what it said to me in my heart. So, like, sometimes it's like these things are very clear, and then other times I'm like, this just gives me the feeling of this. Like, there are certain things in here, like, with the sort of weird church pipe organ that I'm like, okay, that is not the underworld leitmotif, but it definitely feels like it is the underworld to me in my heart and soul. So I guess just to end off the stream, maybe I'll ask some people in the Discord server too for help, for leitmotif assistance. But yeah, I think that it's ultimately, the thing is that when a musical kind of reaches this sort of, like, pinnacle where we're at the ending, it's like taking all of this stuff that we've heard before and, like, making sure to transform it in a new way, but then also having it be reminiscent of other things. And so I think that, like, at the end of the day, the reason why this reminds us of so many things is because all of these songs are supposed to reflect the journey that Odysseus has taken the entire time. So whether you're like, oh, this sounds like Survive, or this sounds like the Athena thing, or, like, this sounds like the Underworld, like, I think that all of those things are valid, even though they're not the exact same leitmotif, because that's the idea. Like, the idea is, like, this is the culmination of the journey that we've been on, and so we're calling back to Full Speed Ahead, we're calling back to the Windbag, we're calling back to the Cyclops, we're calling back to Open Arms, right? And whether or not that is exact in terms of the leitmotifness, or it is just a feeling and, like, the vibes, right? Like, we're discerning the vibes, is different. And yes, I do like God games. My only beef is with the Ares part, but I talked about that in the last stream. So I think overall, I think that if I had to rank them, I will say I think that they are in the order that they are in, but the other way. So, like, 600 Strike, Get in the Water, Charybdis, Dangerous, and Not Sorry for Loving You. I think that what I will say is that, and I say with peace and love too, because some people get mad, like, I say with peace and love, I think that, let me think about this. Let me think about how I want to say this. I did really enjoy this. I think that I will really enjoy this again with proper headphones and surround sound. I know that this was also an issue, because this didn't used to be an issue, but it started to become an issue during God games. Or not God games, sorry, Wisdom Saga, where for some reason, just based on how it's mixed differently, my headphones are not liking it. So I'm sure, like, when I listen to this on a speaker or on my AirPods, it will sound more full, because that's something that I've noticed with the last two sagas, is I'm like, oh, the sound doesn't feel as full. But then I'm like, but is it just because of how I'm listening to it on stream? Like, will it sound better when I, like, play them on my phone on, like, a music service that is not a YouTube video? Do you know what I mean? So I think that I really do like this one. I really like the Thunder Saga, though. I think that's still my favorite overall saga, and I think that it's not only because of the music, but also because of the themes. So I think that, like, what I'll say about this one is that I really like how the themes of the show are finally coming to this, like, climax, fruition, resolution, but, like, also we're not over yet. I just think that some things need a bit more time to cook in here, which is fine. Oh my god. Which is fine because this is ultimately, like, a concept album, right? And so, like, instruments can be added, and things can be changed, and lyrics can be changed. So I think that this is my favorite saga. Well, Thunderbringer is my favorite saga in terms of how it executes music, storytelling, and, like, themes, right? Which is part of storytelling, but you guys know what I mean. I should say music, lyrics, and storytelling. I think Thunder Saga is the best overall at especially the storytelling element where I could really see, oh, the themes are happening. It's going. The themes are going. Like, of the excess and the deficiency and, like, Odysseus completely leaving the middle ground behind and whatever, right? So, but this one, I think, brings all of that stuff to fruition. What I will say, though, is I think Dangerous and Not Sorry for Loving You are not doing us a lot of favors when it comes to assisting in that. And so if I had to say anything about this one, I would say that, like, Not Sorry for Loving You and Dangerous just needs a bit more help. Like, it just needs a bit more help to be as strong as everything else that facilitates the themes of the rest of the show. And I think that Not Sorry for Loving You can do that by having Odysseus, again, I had suggested a line earlier for the people that just joined now being like, hey, I appreciate the fact that you saw humanity in me when I thought that I was a monster, right? So that's an easy fix for Not Sorry for Loving You. With Dangerous, I don't know. Maybe Dangerous is fine as long as Sorry for Not Loving You gets a bit of an adjustment, right? Yeah. And so, and I still think that Telemachus should have gotten his sad father angst bridge part, and that there are some other songs in the Wisdom Saga. I think most of the Wisdom Saga songs are okay for facilitating the theme. I think it's just Telemachus' song where I was like, I need daddy issues. I need more daddy issues in this song. But yeah, so I think that, like, after the epic is done, what I would hope happens is that, like, they go through back to the older songs to clarify the themes a bit more, because I think that Warrior of the Mind still needs it. Honestly, it might just be Warrior of the Mind. I think that the other songs are okay, because we don't get into establishing what the theme of the show is until Open Arms, and until, Warrior of the Mind happens. So I think that Open Arms is okay, because Open Arms is pretty clear. I think that what needs to happen is Athena's position has to be slightly more clear by the end of Warrior of the Mind. And then after that, we're pretty much okay until we get into, like, some other sagas where I'm like, right? Because he seems to learn the lesson from Cersei, but then entirely, like, it drops it going into the underworld. But there's no way to, like, move Cersei in the plot either, so, but I like Cersei's thing in the plot. So anyway, I think that we're on the right track. Like, we finally, like, Thunder Saga, Wisdom Saga, and this saga really hit on, like, getting on the right track in terms of, like, the themes of the show, which I really like and I really appreciate, I think. In terms of my favorite song in Epic, like, it's hard, right? Because whenever people ask me my favorite of anything, it's really, I was actually thinking about making a short about this, but I won't use this as a short. I'll think about what I want to say better. Like, I obviously have favorites of things, but, like, if you asked me, like, for example, like, Cal, what's your favorite opening number of a musical? I'm like, well, I can't really compare that because every musical, like, has an opening number to facilitate a different thing. So it's hard for me to pick a favorite because it's like, well, all of these things execute the show correctly in the way that it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, I can't really compare Belle and then Bells of Notre Dame or something, right? Like, those are completely different, and they're beautiful songs, and they're both crazy with how they established the show, and I'm like, but I can't pick between them because they are the best opening numbers for their respective musicals. I can't put them against each other. So when people ask, like, oh, Cal, what's your favorite song in Epic? I can tell you the one that I probably listen to the most is Warrior of the Mind, but, like, I like the songs and how they facilitate certain things, and so it's hard to compare them to each other. You know what I mean? And so it's hard for me to say what my favorite is, because I really like Thunderbringer, like in terms of the writing of that song. But is that my favorite song of the whole show? I don't know. I don't know if that's my favorite, right? I don't know if that's my favorite song out of all of the songs that exist. But it's definitely, like, in terms of, like, facilitating a theme. Yeah, I can't even pick a favorite color, right? Yeah, so I don't know. It's just, you know, it's so interesting, because I've wondered for a long time if that is autism related somehow, like, you know what I mean? Because, like, most people have a favorite color. I mean, I like pink, right? But, like, I'm like, man, it depends, you know? Like, in terms of what my favorite color is, in terms of, like, what I would paint the walls of my house, right? Versus what I like to wear, like, in terms of, like, my aesthetic, versus, like, a color that I would like my car. A lot of people think I would like a pink car, but I actually really want a purple car or a blue car if I got a car, right? So, you know, it's funny, because it's like, oh, well, wouldn't you want a pink car? And I'm like, no, for a car, I want a purple car, right? Like, it's one of those sorts of things. And so, yeah, it's hard for me to pick a favorite in terms of the entire show, when I'm like, I appreciate something when it does what it's supposed to, like, when it executes what it's supposed to the maximum capacity. I mean, that's why I haven't done, like, you know, a lot of people do, like, ranking videos and stuff. Like, that's why I haven't done, like, an I Want Song ranking video or something, like, because I'm like, well, how can I compare these things? Is it just based off of, like, vibes at the end of the day? Because, like, I think that, like, part of your world and, like, out there, or what's another Disney I Want song? I'm totally blanking. Or, like, When Will My Life Begin are all the best songs for the musical they're in. I mean, I guess you could just say the composition, like, what I like the composition more, if that makes sense. Like, what compositions I like more. But yeah, it's a hard thing to measure. We're basically, hello Salem, we are talking about, like, favorites, the idea of a favorite, thing to end off the stream. I was just saying how I have a hard time ranking things, because I don't see things in comparison to each other. I see things as if they're the best version of themselves that they could be. And so, like, when I talk about, like, Dangerous and Not Sorry for Loving You, it's not even necessarily that they're my least favorite songs in the saga, it's that I don't think that they are the best version of themselves that they can be. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas I think, like, Thunderbringer is, like, the best version of itself. But yeah, the song with the best storytelling, it's hard, because they all tell different stories. Like, in terms of, like, Athena and, like, Odysseus's, fallout and their argument, I really like My Goodbye, you know? I really like My Goodbye and, like, how it tells that story. And so it's hard to do best storytelling, because then it's like, oh, but they all tell different best stories. Like, Thunderbringer tells the best story of, like, an angry God, like, a kind of Zeus, right? Like, prideful, angry Zeus, you know? So yeah, like, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, like, it's really difficult. I really like Thunderbringer, though. That's the one where I'm like, I think that this is, like, the best composed, like, the best lyrics, like, it's just so clean, like, it's so flawless. And so, yeah, I think that Dangerous and Not Sorry for Loving You are not the best versions of themselves that they could be, but, like, in terms of, like, that's how I try to measure a song. Is it the best version of itself? Not like, oh, this isn't what I wanted, and so I'm comparing it to, like, this other thing. You know what I mean? That's how I try to analyze stuff. Especially, like, with Wish, I'm not like, this is bad because it's not like Beauty and the Beast. Well, it kind of is bad because of that, but that's not how I think about it. I'm like, this is bad because it's not the best version of itself that it could be. But in the epic, nothing is bad. I feel like that nothing is, like, as bad as it is for Wish. Whereas, like, I'm just saying, like, this needs to be a bit more, revised, I think, for, like, when the actual show happens. Oh yeah, I love Mutiny. I think the Thunder Saga is, like, the tightest saga as a whole. Just a Man is interesting because, like, that's the one that has, like, the themes of the show, in it. And so I think that, like, I think it's good. I think that it does what it's supposed to do. I wonder if now in hindsight we'll go back and revise some lyrics for Just a Man, because, like, that's the thing. Like, Just a Man, Warrior of the Mind, and then Polities' song hold up the entire themes of the show. And so that's why earlier, I don't know if you missed it, Ellie Illy, I had suggested like a Warrior of the Mind revision that's in my Warrior of the Mind video, and so like I feel like that it's not even that like Just a Man has like a problem that I think it needs to be revised, but I could see it getting revised lyrics just because like the themes of the show are so concrete now, and they've been concrete ever since I think Poseidon, and so now I wonder if Just a Man will get like some sort of revised. But yeah. I really like Little Wolf too. I don't know why that just occurred to me. But like, I guess another example of a song that I think could be better in its own capacity is Telemachus's I Want song. I think that it needs a bridge, and I mentioned that earlier. I'm like, I want a bridge where he is lamenting about not knowing how to be a good man and a good prince and a good ruler because his father is gone or something. And so that's kind of what I mean. I kind of try to look at every song as if it's the best version of itself. And that's why it's hard for me to compare things, because I'm crazy. But anyway, so I think that this is actually where we will end the stream off, guys, because I'm so surprised, because I thought that this would actually take hours. I was prepared to be here for 5 hours today, given how much we talked about last time, but there's just not a lot going on in Not Sorry for Loving You and Dangerous, just because of kind of how they're composed, I guess, like, especially the 80s simp thing in Dangerous. It's very simple. It's almost like pop song territory. I would like to, oh my god, you guys can tell I need more water, and I need to end the stream. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, obviously, eventually, one day, I would like to do a specific analysis video on every single song. It probably would take years, given how many songs there are, but I did do one for Warrior of the Mind, and so I think that, like, at the very least, the big songs will probably get their own breakdown at some point, so if I didn't go over something and you have, like, a burning, well, if you have a burning question, you can leave a comment, but if you're like, Cal, you didn't talk about the lyrics in the such and such or something, like, you know what I mean? I think that eventually some songs, like God Games, I would love to oh my god, I would love to do a God Games breakdown, a Thunderbringer breakdown, but obviously if you have any questions, you can comment. But yeah, I would like to do a proper video for every song in the epic one day. If my Warrior of the Mind video does better, because it didn't do as well as I thought, but these streams do really well, so I'm excited. I hope I covered everything. I'm really, like, I kind of feel anxious, because I don't know if I covered all of the leitmotifs and stuff. I don't know if I picked out every single instrument in here, and I'm like, guys, is this stream bad because I didn't pick out every single instrument like we did for the Wisdom Saga, and I, like, identified literally everything, and I felt so big-brained. I don't feel as big-brained anymore. I feel like I've been reduced in big-brainedness because I couldn't find anything in Dangerous to talk about. But yeah, I think that we had a good conversation, though. I think that we had some good, talks about, like, the instruments and the motifs and the themes. Will you do another stream of the sagas you didn't cover? That's a good question. I don't know if I would, because, well, maybe. Maybe that's how it'll end up happening. React. Like, maybe what'll happen is that, like, I'll never do, like, an edited video for all of the epic, because it would be too much work. It would be way too much, and so maybe, like, what I'll do is, like, kind of a stream for, like, even the earlier songs, so people can still understand my, like, thoughts and stuff. But yeah, like, I am still thinking about doing whole videos for, like, again, like how I did Warrior of the Mind, I'd like to do a My Goodbye video, but that may be how something ends up happening, is that, like, I do videos about all of the sagas, if that makes sense. And then that way, like, even if, because, like, there's, like, 40 songs in this, and a video takes me a week to make if we're being really generous, that'd probably be something where I would need to have, like, an editor at that point. If we were, like, it would take years, right? So to, like, reduce the fact that it would take years to actually cover every single song, maybe we will do one, for all of the sagas, individually, and then after it's done, we'll do, like, a weekly, I don't know, bi-weekly, monthly, something, saga stream or something. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed. But yes, individual videos are still on the table. They just take a long time, right? And so, to do all 40 songs, like, at most, it takes me a week to make a video. Really, it takes me, like, 2 weeks sometimes. That's why we only got 2 this month. We had Ursula, and then we had, Yzma, because they took forever. They were so long. It's so hard to talk about a good song because it takes so much energy in terms of like doing the edits for like the instrumentation and like all the fun little things that I do on stream, or on screen I should say. When we talk about a bad song, it's so easy. Like it's so easy to be like, the instrumental is bad, here's why, and then we never talk about it again, right? So that's why Wish and like those sorts of things are a little easier. When will the karaoke stream be happening? That's a good question. It'll happen before Moana and Wicked, but not tomorrow. If that makes sense. Wouldn't it be funny if it took you 20 years? Yeah, I'm the real life Odysseus. That is hilarious. But yeah, but it'll happen before Moana comes out, but not this weekend, if that makes sense. So it'll either happen I think it's 9 and 10, and then 16, 17. That's the weekend. It'll happen sometime, but it'll happen before Wicked, Moana, and Spellbound comes out, because that's the last thing I'll say for this stream, guys, is like November is going to be fucking crazy, okay? We have Moana 2, we have Wicked, and then we have Spellbound, which is a Netflix animated movie that is, the music is going to be done by Alan Menken and Glenn Slater, who wrote Tangled, right? So, like, big expectations for the month, especially if Moana is bad. If Moana 2 has bad music, we're gonna, like, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like Wish again, basically, right? So, yeah, later half of November, and I can't even prepare anything, because, like, I can't do anything until the music comes out. And, like, sometimes the music does release before the movie, but, like, I can't do the song analysis. Like, I can't do a Moana song analysis without the song being out. Like, I can't prep anything, right? So it's like Wicked, I'm gonna do like a review after I go to see it, and then Moana, I'm gonna do a review, and then I'm gonna talk about the music. Like, it's gonna be nuts, because it's basically just gonna be me, like, being trapped at my computer, doing stuff very impromptu, and not having a lot of time to, like, script it or anything. So, anyway, so, yeah, find all the leitmotifs, guys, yes. Find all the leitmotifs. Go forth and, watch the Ursula video, I guess, and I will see you guys, next time. Thank you guys all so much, for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Well, I should tell you, go watch Warrior of the Mind, I guess, or one of the other streams, but yes, bye everybody. I hope you had fun.